Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 872 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say to everybody this morning, welcome back. Glad to see everybody on the board early this morning. I'm glad to see everybody today. How you doing? This is episode 872 of the Two Dum Yinzers. This is Thursday, guys. Thursday night football kicking off tonight with the matchup between the Seahawks and the Rams. That should be a really good game. If you guys were involved in the CBS Pick'ems this week, at least half of the games, 50% of the games were moderately difficult to pick. I got about through 8 of them, and I had about 8 left, and I really had to sit back and think about some of these games. So if you are involved in the CBS Pick'ems, get them in by tonight, at least tonight's game. You don't want to miss out on the game that starts week 16 tonight on Thursday Night Football, again between the Rams and the Seahawks. I do believe it's in Seattle, but it's a big game, and you might be seeing the 2025 MVP as Matthew Stafford is being projected as more than likely at this point taking that award. But we will see again tonight, guys. It does kick off. If you're not involved in the CBS Pick'ems, we do it right here on the show. It's already set up by CBS. There's a link right outside of here. If you just click on our logo anywhere, right below our logo, it'll take you out to our main page. Once you do, at the top, you'll see blue text within the description of everything. Just click on that. It'll take you right in. It takes 30 seconds to sign up and costs absolutely nyata. So get over and sign up. It's a lot of fun. And I do see that Mike did put it up on the board right there. It's a terrible board. There is the link. That easy for you. Get in. 30 seconds to sign up. Costs nothing. Get in, place your picks. There's 3 weeks left, and it's fun from now on. Like I said, there's people that join earlier, and it kind of, it didn't allow the competition itself to be clumped together as one. But there is still some competition and still a lot of fun, guys. So get over to the CBS Pick'ems. Again, takes 30 seconds to sign up and costs absolutely nothing. Game tonight. So don't forget to get your picks in, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Glad to see you. Glad to see everybody. Things going on today. We have movements in the personnel. We bring back a former linebacker that was here before. A bunch of things going on, odds and ends things. We'll get into that. We'll get into the injury report and a lot more today as we try to figure out how in the hell can we beat this Detroit Lions team. Only 8-6 this year, albeit. However, they're still a really tough team. They're not playing up to their standards, and their skill players scare the hell out of me. Montgomery, Gibbs, St. Brown, and even Goff, who I don't ever really put up in my elite quarterbacks, but you know what? The guy can put up a 300-yard game because they're built like that. And I always say we don't match up well against this kind of particular team. But you know what, guys? There's no better time to start than right now. We are on a 2-game winning streak in this December. If we can win this one, we'll just have Cleveland left in December. And this could, again, be a pretty uncharacteristic December as of late. And we'll take it because it's been kind of a disaster over the past 5 years or so. So, guys, we will be getting into so much today. So do stick around, hang out. I'm glad to see everybody. Let me get on the board. I don't want to leave anybody out today on this Thursday installment of the show. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Shiesty Bates, what up, what up, what up? Nice to see Shiesty Bates on the board. Shiesty, glad to have you back, my man. He says, let's go, Yinzers. Miss Pittsburgh, always glad to see you bright and early today. Miss Pittsburgh says, good afternoon, everyone. Here we go. This is just a reminder, you got to fire someone today. Ah, that's right. Well, damn, thank you. You're more reliable than the person I have to fire. I got to be honest with you. A lot more. Shiesty says this, Miss Pittsburgh, oh boy, do I have the content for you. Fitness Addict, what up? Great to see you back on the terrible board. It's been a little while. It's nice to see you back. Hope everything's going well for you. As Fitness Addict says, yo, or yoy, perhaps. Miss Pittsburgh says, let's go. Let's do this. Armac says, howdy. What's up, brother? Always great seeing the great Armac on the terrible board. Lindsay, what's going on? Always great seeing Lindsay on the terrible board. Miss Pittsburgh says, here we go. Shiesty Bates says, Steeler Nation, get pumped the fuck up, would ya? Ormax says, here before Tyrone, Lindsay, Cody, Tortilla, and Jamal, you are early. You are here on time, I guess you would call it. See as them guys start rolling in. Tyrone, I got to be honest with you. Lindsay's usually really good. Tyrone's usually here pretty early. The other guys come sprinkling in, but I'm sure we'll see them here shortly. Shiesty says, why is this song so hard? We appreciate that, man. There it is. Lindsay says, no, sir, I'm here. I'm here. Shiesty says, oof, Chad, what's up, dude? Always great seeing the great Chad Schrader on the board. I'm loving it, guys. I tell you what, this is the stretch. And people are showing up. We're getting classics and some more OGs popping back on the board all the time. Guys, glad to have everybody back. Hope everybody's doing well. Shiesty Bates says Seattle 24 to the Rams 18 in tonight's game between Seattle and the Rams. Again, should be a hell of a game. Miss Pittsburgh says, let's go. She also says, I'll be watching. Absolutely. I you know what? I love Thursday night football. I do. What did we do when we was younger and they didn't have Thursday night football? We waited all the way till Sunday? What is this, crazy talk? Tortilla, what's up, brother? Always great seeing the great Tortilla Jackson, my man. He says, if we beat the Lions, Vanilla Thunder got to come back for an episode. Interesting. We might have to lay that out for him, see what he says. I don't know, Shiesty. That's a good question. We'll pull out everything here. Eventually, we'll get into it all. Chad Schrader says Hutchinson is scary. You know what, dude? He's very scary. They have about a handful of players on that team that are just downright scary. And Aiden Hutchinson on the defense, of course, being atop that list. And again, they're almost the team that Pittsburgh wants to be. Did I say that? They're physical. They're tough. They got that fiery head coach. Again, I'm not taking anything away from our current head coach. He's doing great things number-wise, but I got to be honest with you, very reminiscent of the Coach Cowher that ran up and down the sideline, spit flying everywhere, grabbing guys by the face mask, getting in their shit, kind of paying homage to things that we have known to become comfortable and used to in the past, again, with that style. But again, this Detroit Lions team, very physical. They rely on, a lot of the things that those classic Pittsburgh teams did, and they did very well. So again, a team that also looks up to Pittsburgh. I learned this. Maybe not the team so much, but the city. They look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and they see themselves like we are. And I remember learning this about 20 years ago because there was a lot of side stories when we went up there to play in a Super Bowl, and they just kept talking about how, we're trying to become more like the Steelers. The Steelers are the team to make your to build yourself or alike. And Detroit was very, very pro Pittsburgh, if I'm remembering right, for back to 20 years ago in Super Bowl 40 when we did make the Super Bowl against Seattle. So I think it's going to be a good game. Nonetheless, I do think we could win. I do. I truly, honestly do think that we can win this football game. Stick around. We'll get into how and so much more today. I'm going to go right here. Ms. Pittsburgh says they are really tough, and that's it too. We're playing there. We're going to Ford Field. they run really fast on that surface. They got a lot of nice things going on. Again, we're going to have to play a really good game. And I hate to bring this up because we haven't seen the opposite, but which is going to show up? Is it going to be Jekyll or is it going to be Hyde? If you can continue to put the team on the field that looks like they're ready to play football, I think we got as good a chance as anybody. I do, as anybody this year. However, if that team shows up that, that showed up a few times earlier this season that was just downright embarrassing and they couldn't do anything, and it was the 3 yards on offense and the defense just giving up everything, that group is the group that I'm afraid of. And unfortunately, we just don't know how to plug in one and unplug the other. That's kind of where we're at right now, guys. So again, if we do stand a chance against Detroit, which I think we do, I think this has to be a game that the Pittsburgh Steelers they have to bring their game face. You got. There's not another game this season you can't not wear your game face. You have to be ready for Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore, and whoever comes to Pittsburgh in the first round of the playoffs. You have to be. And if they don't, you know what? Shame on them because they got the backing. They got everything that they need. They got a great city, a great tradition. Do it like the teams of the past and get your head in it, and let's see what they can do. Good afternoon to Derpy. How you doing, brother?
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Derpy's in the house. Let me catch up on some more of these messages before we do move on. Tortilla says Mike Tomlin learned how to play the trombone for the Lions game. Yes, you're absolutely right, Gibbs. And like I said, there's a handful of guys. Amon St. Brown and what's the other? Gibbs, Montgomery. And on defense, they have a handful of names too. So, I mean, this is a team that you can't, they're 8-6. They're fighting for their playoff lives. If you go and let them take advantage and let them do their thing, guys, they will. And, so again, it's all about getting the team prepared as it was last week. We talked about this for 2 weeks.
I did.
Either the Ravens game could have went either way, but you know what? They showed up with the right mindset and they got there. They were ready. Miami, again, a team you should beat, and they did beat a team they should beat in a way that you should beat a team like that. So, again, they were ready. They were prepared. You've seen it in their action, in their play whenever they were on the field. However, this team has had a history, certainly this year, of just being inconsistent at best. Looking great, beating at the time, the top team in the AFC, the Colts, and then turning around and shitting the bed a week later against whoever it was. And it's just been like that all year. You got to figure out how to break the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde curse and figure out how to come in with your head in the game. Because here's the thing. If you bring it and you lose, at least you gave it everything you had. If you don't, and you pull back and you're going 3-yard dump-off passes and just all those little things again that lead to dry games for us, you're not putting it all on the table. And you're ripping us off as fans, and you're ripping the team off and the company and the city and anybody that supports you. So these guys got to come out. They got to be prepared. And again, Derpy, as I said, if you come out prepared and you lose, that's one thing. You gave everything you had. But if you come out and don't play your best possible game and you lose, then it's always going to be sitting on the table. We could have done this, we could have done that, and maybe we could have won.
I think with the mentality and motivation they have right now, I think they're going to.
I hope you're right.
Heck, I think they could go in there and beat them.
But Derpy, I mean, yes, that's great and it's optimistic, and that's kind of where we're all at. But haven't we seen the opposite happen over and over and over again throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, but that's the adversity part.
All right. Let's
and
hope
I
they can
think they
do it.
can do it.
I think they can. I just don't know if they will. It was early in the game against Miami. You knew this wasn't a good team, but you knew they could run well. But you seen them getting third and 3 and outs, getting off the field. That was a good sign early. Okay, this
Yeah.
team might be bringing it today. And then in their own Steeler way, they get it all together by the third quarter, put up some points, and win the football game. So again, it's all about the mindset of this team. I'm convinced 100% of that. I've seen us play good teams and win. I've seen us play good teams and lose. We've seen us play bad teams and win, and we've seen us play bad teams and lose. So with that being said, it's all about the mindset. And let me give you an example. Can I take a moment just to give you an example? All
Yeah,
right.
go.
So in the area that we're in, let me tell you the tale of two teams. There's a team that just went and won the state championship. and just for the sake of the story, let me build the story here. Let me paint you a picture if you can. I can. This team, Derpy, they're full of Caucasian kids. You know what that
Yeah.
is? Okay. So this team was full of Caucasian kids, and they went 10-0, and then they blew through the playoffs, and then they blew through the state playoffs, and they won with ease. Okay. Now there's another team in the area that's full of Caucasian kids, same size school, same area, neighbors, if you will. But this team won one game all season long.
Oof.
They had talented players. What's the difference? And the reason I made this point is because, a lot of times I think, come on, we're human beings, and we can see that, the black kids run faster and a lot of times are more athletic. So that's the reason I'm putting this point out there. And you're going to see when it all comes together. So for the one team, they just blow through everybody. Everything is flawless. They play fundamental football. They do all the small things right. The other team, again, they can't win a game. Turnovers, mistakes, fumbles, even playing field. Again, no superstars on either team. Neither of these teams are putting any D1 players out. Right. What's the difference between those two teams, Derpy? On the most topical level, would you say would be the difference between the two teams I just described to you?
Recruiting,
preparedness.
Fairness.
One team was very disciplined, very prepared, and they went out there and they played football. The other team was chasing their tails for 10 weeks.
Right.
If you had a good system and a good coach in place, the team that won 0 games, I could tell you wouldn't win 0 games. And the team, again, equal talent, no D1 talent. A lot of kids built the same. They look the same. They live in the same area. They drink the same effing water. But one team is dominant and the other team is pathetic. It's the coaching. It's getting your guys prepared. It's putting a plan in place that's going to work. It's going to make sure all the mistakes are to minimum. And it's coaching. It's called coaching. Get in there and get your guys ready.
Who's the offensive coach now for the Lions?
Now this is on a high school level. Imagine getting 53 millionaires, trying to get them on the same page week by week to go out there and play their hardest to try to win a football game. It's not easy. Now I'm not shitting on Coach Tallman. I'm just saying a lot of it comes down to preparedness. What do you think that Andy Reid does better than everybody? In Philadelphia, he took the Eagles to 4 straight NFC championships into a Super Bowl.
Cheeseburgers.
And then he comes to Kansas City and goes to 5 Super Bowl, 4, whatever it was. This guy knows how to get his team ready. That's the bottom line. You can go out and get every blue light special player that has a big name. You could go out and do all these things, but you know what? If you're not prepared to get out there and play on Sunday, you're going to look like we did 7 times this year. But if you do, you're going to look like the other 8 times we played this year, and you're going to put yourself in a football game to win. Derpy, you can't tell me that team was prepared that we've been watching earlier in this season. And come on, it's in my opinion, it's obvious. So again, I'm not shitting on the head coach. I'm just shitting on the leadership of this team. Get these guys ready. You have 3 weeks left. There's no reason to not play the best football of your life. Pretend this is the playoffs. Get your ass into January. Once you get into January, win some football games. This is football. We're going on almost a decade, Derpy. You can't get your team prepared in 10
Yeah,
years
that's
to
crazy.
win a football game in January?
That's crazy. It's almost been a
So
decade.
whoever it is, whether it's Coach Tomlin, whether it's your coordinators, whether it's the owner, whether it's the leaders of your defense or your offense, somebody's got to get these guys on the right page, because if they are on the right page, we do stand a chance on Sunday. If they're not, we don't. That's just the way the season's going to play out. I said it earlier. I said to John, I said to everybody on this board, the kind of game that'll be the last game of our season, we know what it's going to look like.
Right.
Because we've seen these games pop up before. We can't stop anything. We can't do anything right. We're chasing our own tails. Preparedness, getting ready, strategy, execution, all that discipline stuff is necessary, certainly in the NFL, if you don't want to be one of the 31 losing teams at the end of the season. Derpy, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who's the coach for the OC Lions? Right?
I don't
Wasn't it Ben Johnson last year who went to the Bears?
I don't know. I probably. Why?
Well,
What's up?
I think he was a better coach than Campbell, but that's just me. Their offense hasn't been the same, honestly, as explosive as it was last year.
Again, they're just, and Coach Campbell come out and said this. He says, you know what, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're gonna have to come out and be physical.
Right.
Dan Campbell says, where did it go? I thought I had it somewhere here in front of me.
I think the only person they got to worry about is Hutchinson.
That's on offense. I mean, what about when you're on defense and you got to stop Montgomery and Gibbs and St. Brown? I mean, those are
I think we have this. I think we have the secondary to stop them.
Well, again, if they show up, if the secondary is playing good, I agree.
If they show up, exactly.
And we have this non-stop roll of secondary players. Just keep going.
Right.
Duggar, Eccles, JPJ, Jalen Ramsey, Asante Samuel. The list keeps going, and for some reason, we have been able to having issues in the past with stopping the run pass against certain teams. So again, just those kind of things need to be fixed. We have 3 games. Again, if you can't get your guys up, Derpy, to play playoff football right now, you don't deserve to be there. So guys, in my opinion, it's all about preparedness. It's all about getting the team ready. Or you could be that 0-10 team that chases your tail and looks stupid every week, as we have done in the past. Which team is going to show up Sunday? That is the difference in this particular football game. In my opinion, guys, that is still my opinion. Derpy, go ahead, man.
I can tell you one thing, though. If they go into Detroit and beat them, like just out of surprise, this is the game that we'll look back on a run. If we make one, if we make one, that's what I'm just saying.
Say that again. I wasn't paying attention.
I said, oh shit! Damn you, Ryan.
Are you high?
Maybe.
Let's.
No, I'm looking back at it now. Like I'm saying, if we go into Detroit and beat them, basically this is the game we'll look back at if we go on a run.
Will this be the Chicago Bears win of 2005, Derpy? If they win this game and go on a run, they'll say
yes, basically.
So basically, we need somebody to beast Aiden Hutchinson the way that Bettis beasted Brian Urlacher in that game to make it memorable. Yes. Maybe big Mount Washington could run over Hutchinson, and we'll all remember that. Let's get back on the board.
That's a high possibility. You know
what? I'd love to see. I want to see Washington just run over everybody. 8 guys, Derpy. Go back, rewind, and watch that one particular play. 8 guys was trying to get him down, and he didn't fall till after the whistle blew. Love that man. I love him. He is my new favorite tight end of all time. All right, let's get back into it, guys. On the board, I don't want to leave anybody out today as we are nearing the end of the week. Tonight, Thursday Night Football. Tomorrow, the AI Atlas, or 3AI, 3A, whatever it is, Atlas is going to be as close to the earth as it's been yet. And some people are getting crazy, more crazy than they already are. And they're expecting weird shit to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen. But there's a bunch of things going on also tomorrow, Derpy, with political shit. So a lot of people are speculating that this is a cover-up for other BS. And so who knows what's going to happen. So if we somehow get evaporated out into the aliens over tonight and into tomorrow, I will say I really enjoyed knowing you people, and
Right.
I hope we meet on the other side. But if that's not the case, we will be back tomorrow getting ready for this game in Week 16 against the Detroit Lions on the road at Ford Field, 4:25 on Sunday. Let's get back to the terrible board, Derpy. They deserve all the attention in the world,
Yes.
and that's what we want to give them. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe says Laporta is on the IR. Shiesty
Ooh,
says, thank God he's out. End of days,
that's
31-21. Great seeing end of days on the terrible board, as always.
that's big, Ryan. Laporta being on
I mean, it is,
that's
but
big.
again, they got a lot of players, man. It's the matchup. And again,
Right.
if you're not prepared for this team, you're not going to have a good matchup. You're not going to be matched up well. And this is a tough game, and it has to be treated as so. And again, people will say they're not as good as they usually are, but you got to prepare for them as they are, because, if you don't, Montgomery and Gibbs are going to kill you. St. Brown is going to kill you. We've watched this team. They can score a lot of points. So we got to give it everything. Got to give it everything. Shiesty says he scares me versus Steelers D-backs. That's big for us. Shiesty is saying also, Yinzer Joe, what's up, brother? Always,
Yinzer Joe.
always great seeing Yinzer Joe, my man. Steeler Freaky says, I'm burning one listening, brother. I admire. I green with envy, if you will, because I'm here with Derpy. So there you go. Take that as you want, Derpy. No hard feelings.
Hey now.
And the day says someone has to win tonight. Should be a good one. It should be a really good game. These two teams, I believe, are tied atop the NFC West for they're trying to both win that division. So this game should be really good tonight. But don't forget to get them CBS pick'ems in, man. Shiesty says, Ryan, speaking facts, Campbell is the 08 Tomlin. Jen says, hi, everyone. Great to see Jen on the terrible board, as always. Jen, hope everything is well for you, and hope things are warming up, because it is going to be 55 to 60 today in Western PA. And I got to be honest, Derpy, I don't know what it's like in Eastern OH, but Western PA is feeling nice.
Close at it's pretty darn close.
All right, good. Hope you can enjoy some of that weather. Tortilla says Campbell reminds me. He does, and I think that's why I like him. And again,
funny story though, Ryan.
What's that?
Funny story though, Ryan. I'm going to be going to Florida next week.
Yeah, that's right, Derpy. You're going to be on your way to Florida.
So I'm going to get better weather.
You do this every year at Christmas, don't you?
I did it last year, yeah, but I didn't do it the year prior.
Shiesty says the door's wide open. Tortilla says you're fired, Derp Nut. Jen says, hey, Derpy, what's going on? Lindsay says Derpy has to file for unemployment today. Yinzer Joe is the spread's still 7. You know what, Joe? I think it's either 7 or 6.5.
Which isn't bad.
Derpy, double check me on that. Pull up your phone real quick if you can. If it's inconvenient, don't worry about it.
ESPN or CBS, what do you think?
I don't know. Just type in point spread Steelers Lions. Tortilla saying yes, it is. John, Steeler freak. Get your freak on. He says this. They have been inconsistent on both sides of the ball all year. It's hard to fix both during the season. That is why they still have less than a 2% chance to win the Super Bowl. You know what? Yes, but also so is everybody else. What is it? 7 points?
6.5, 6 point or 7 point.
So you get the pick?
That's what it says.
Okay. All right. Where was I? John, you know what? But that's the one thing we have to bank on, that everybody else is inconsistent as well this year. That's our silver lining. That's our
Tortilla.
Our saving grace. They really, let me do a move here. Let's see. Vegas says Derpy.
Vegas.
And I mean, even those teams like Denver that are consistently winning, are they going to be able to continue to keep that up through January after winning all season long? It's tough for those early teams. It really is. They don't know how to win yet, especially in January. But again, I'm talking like we're a team that really knows how to win in January anymore. So,
I'm gonna be real, Ryan. If we were to win another Super Bowl, this is probably our year.
I say that a lot of times.
I'm just being realistic. How open the AFC to get to the Super Bowl.
You're right. The way the rest of the league is shaped, I agree with you. This would be the year, but you know how many other teams are probably licking their chops saying the same thing?
Right, exactly. And that's the thing.
We're not going to see Burrow. We're not going to see Mahomes. We're not going to see Lamar more than likely. And if somebody could just beat Buffalo, who's not winning every game that they should this year, maybe we have a chance. Again, I think that's probably everybody's approach to this season, it would seem.
Right.
Tyrone, Steel Gang, what's up, baby? Always great seeing the
Tyrone.
big Tyrone in the house. Steeler Freak says Campbell is the OC. Is that how it goes up there?
It was Johnson, I believe, last year.
Yinzer Joe says the spread is insulting to me. It better be the Steelers too. Beat to the Steelers too. Lions don't have much of a defense. Just got to keep up with their offense, scoring a score after score after score. Which we did against the Dolphins defense last week. But again, I don't expect Detroit's defense to be. You know what? I got to be honest with you. Miami just totally gave up because the defense looked good.
Ryan. They did.
I mean, early Derby, they ran the ball.
Right.
They didn't run great, but it wasn't bad either. They aborted. They abandoned the run game entirely.
The entire motive was changed after that Samuel interception, I believe.
And the thing was, we didn't get into our scoring frenzy until the third. Yeah, we scored that one touchdown at the end of the second. It was 7-3 at halftime, but their defense played well, and then they gave up running the ball. So I don't know. Again, their defense softened up after they went in and got warmed up at halftime, I think. And then again, the running game never came back. So Miami's loss solely came on coaching, I do believe. I don't think the talent was. I don't think Tua is what he's supposed to be either. But again, the coaching really effed him that game, all the way down to the time management in the fourth quarter. So I definitely put that one on the coaches.
About Tua, did you see that those landing spot favorites?
I don't want to talk about it.
He's not coming
here.
He's not coming here.
He's not coming here. God damn, he better not be coming here. Let's get back at it here. Steeler says he took over the play calling 3 weeks ago. It's interesting. So Dan Campbell is calling the plays up in Detroit.
Okay.
Bingo, my man. He says I'd swap head coaches with Detroit in a heartbeat. Jamal, what's up, brother? He says gang, tortilla, Tyrone, everybody on board. Deep dish derpy. Tortilla, deep dish derpy. Shiesty says bingo. Speaking absolute facts. Also, Steeler Freak says, look at these scores in the last 5 playoff games. They should have fired Tomlin because again, what was the Browns? Wasn't the Browns up 28-0 on us in the first quarter? I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was 28-0 in the first quarter. That game alone, he should have been fired. But again, it's hard. It's hard to fire a person who has been successful in the regular season. In Pittsburgh, it's just not. We need more. It's our Steelers.
Right. Expectations and
absolutely. I mean, the lack of success in the playoffs says something. I mean, it has to. That's the moneymaker. That's
right.
Why you play the game. Let's see. End of days. I want Arthur Smith gone. He sucks. He's not doing anything to really wow you, is he? I mean, he's putting this weird offense together, and I don't know.
There's some mix of creativity, but it hasn't been consistent enough.
It's weird.
There's some.
Turpy, they didn't want any. They didn't want any wide receivers for this offense. That's weird.
Right.
At this point, I think we could say that at week 16. I don't care what your thoughts are on this stupid offense. It's stupid.
Yeah.
There's a reason nobody else runs this offense. You can't have. Listen, and if you had Travis Kelce or Robert Gronkowski, maybe because they're a dominant.
But if we're used the right way,
the thing is, we don't, because again, these guys are consistent playmakers, and they could be the top dog on their team.
Right.
Pat Freiermuth can't be the top dog on this team.
He was at one point.
We weren't any good.
But he's not. Yeah, and he's not that guy anymore. Honestly,
little Meatwad, he certainly isn't the top dog on this team. Yeah, he could do a Yinzer push like anybody else.
Right, Hayward.
Jonnu Smith, he can't be the top dog on this team.
He actually did something last week.
Week 15. Come on, I mean the season's almost over. About time. I mean, come on, if he could do any less.
But they're playing their best football at the right time, though. That's the thing, Ryan.
And listen, I don't want to be. Listen, I don't want to be the devil's advocate today, because I do want to leave on a positive note. But they played one of the worst teams in the league last week.
That is true. That is true.
That is one thing that we are heavily overlooking as Steeler fans. Yes, it went well. Yes, we look good. but are we going to be able to do that when we're on the field with a team that's good at football?
This week,
a team that isn't going to give up halfway through the game.
Right.
So these are the things, guys. There's, I noticed that people were starting to get, really confident. I don't know if it's a game that you could get really confident for. I think you could feel confident. I think we could win this football game.
But I'm not that confident. I'm not cocky.
But I think certain things need to happen for us to even be in this game. So again, it's going to come down to game time, pound for pound, player for player. I think we have just as good of a team when it's all said and done. They certainly have better players at positions, and I think we have better players at other positions. A game we should be able to stay into if we come in and play the right mindset, Pittsburgh Steelers football, and continue to be able to do the things that we were able to do against the teams that weren't so good, such as the Dolphins, even the Ravens. Say what you want. They're not that
Ravens
good.
Are not that good either, yeah.
So, again, it's going to come down to watching the first quarter of this football game and seeing what team is out there.
I'll be on the road watching, unfortunately.
Let's jump back up on the board. Wade Johnson.
I'm gonna be real though, Ryan.
What's that?
I'm going to be real though, Ryan. This is probably a crazy take, but I think Gainwell has been a better pickup than DK for how he performed lately.
Well, the guy touches the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
If there was a way to get the ball to DK as much. Here's the thing. Gainwell has more catches than DK, plus Gainwell has all the carries that he has. So, he has more opportunity to make those particular plays. But I'm not taking anything away from Gainwell, and you would like a little bit more from DK. But at the end of the day, to be fair to him, he can only do what, the offense is doing, and he can only do what the quarterback's doing. So, let's jump right here to Wade Johnson 1. He says this: if the Steelers stop Detroit's trick plays and run game, they will win.
You know what? I agree.
And you know what, Derpy? There's something that suggests that we might be able to do the latter at least.
Right.
Our defense, we faced, and these are the top 5 running backs in the NFL.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. We were able to keep him in check when we beat the Colts. Number 2, James Taylor has 1,443 yards. James Cook for Buffalo, he cooked us.
He cooked us.
No two ways about that.
Good line and good offense.
The number three leading rusher in the league this year is Devon Achane. We just faced this weekend, and we shut him down heavily.
Yep.
Number 4, best running back in the league this year, Bijan Robinson, 1,174 yards. We haven't faced him. And finally, Derrick Henry, number 5. We faced 4 of the 5 top rushers in the NFL this year and shut down 3 of them. Shutting down Henry's keeping him under 100 yards and not letting him kill you, in my opinion. Right. And that's exactly what happened when we played Baltimore. We shut down Jonathan Taylor. We won that football game. We stopped Achane in this game that we just played, again, convincingly. So with the exception of James Cook coming in at that number 2 spot with his 1,415 yards, we've been successful for the most part when it came down to games where people said, you know what, their run game is going to kill you. Their run game is going to kill you. All they do is run. They won 4 games in a row. You're not going to beat them. We beat them. Oh, you know what? The Colts, Danny Dimes, say what you want, but Jonathan Taylor Thomas, he's in there, so you got to stop him. We stopped him. And then Derrick Henry, all week long during Raven week. Yeah, you got to be able to stop Henry. How are you going to stop Henry? Well, we stopped Henry. And again, with the exception of James Cook, that is three of the top 5 running backs that when we put our minds to it, we stopped them. Go back early in the season, watch what some of those other teams were able to do. You've seen us improve through the year, but again, you got to be more on the right side than the new side than the old side when it comes down to stopping run, especially to win a game like this here against the Detroit Lions on Sunday, who again, saying on the board, if you stop their trick plays and their run, you might be able to win that football game. So again, guys, stop that run. They're being called to the test one more time, Derpy. John says
4:25 Sunday.
John says this, let him cook, baby. He looks good. Left tackle Broderick Jones could be out. You know what? Cook is looking tough.
Dude, he's a steal, bro. He's a steal, Ryan.
This Dylan Cook, He led the way, guys. Well, last week, Dylan Cook led the way according to PFF. Again, take that as you will, with an 89.9 as far as on the offensive line went, and Zach Frazier being the second next guy with a 74.5. Now, mind you, the offensive line looked well. It looked good. They were playing good football, and again, they weren't giving up any pressure, so that kind of gives you an idea. But this is what the let me see. All right, so last week, the offense allowed just 5 pressures total. Derpy, 5 pressures total on offense. The offensive line only gave up 1 sack, and that was on 30 pass plays throughout the entire game, and that gave them a total PFF score of 90 for the day. For the offensive line, that's a sign of a strong offensive line. And then here's also something, again, you might want to keep this in mind as well as you are trying to it's trying to justify ways to think, all right, maybe we can stay on the field with this circus. Steelers held Josh Jacobs, guys, to 33 yards early this year. Josh Jacobs, remember that? 33 yards they held him to. Jonathan Taylor, we just talked about, they held him to 45 yards. Derrick Henry, of course, to 94 yards. And then Achane this past weekend, guys, just 50-some yards. So, again, Jahmyr Gibbs and the crew, we have to play like we play when we win, when we play good football, Derpy. That's the bottom line. That's the answer. Everything else is what it is. Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Jalen Ramsey is going to be Jalen Ramsey. Pat Freiermuth is going to be Pat Freiermuth. There's not a lot about this team that's going to be changed right now. It is what it is. We're in week 16 of 18. The team that shows up when we shut down the runs has to be the team. It's all about being ready and prepared, Derpy. That's the answer.
If they're going to find their identity, this is probably that game, Brian. You know what I mean? This is probably that game.
Why would you say that? Just curious. I'm not
because everyone's counting us out. Okay. most of the NFL, most of the analysts are picking Detroit and all that. You know what I mean? And I think that can motivate them to beat anybody, really.
Our offensive line is number 8.
That's
overall.
Pretty consistent.
It's very consistent for a line that
from last year
they threw together. And they started with Broderick, and now he's not even anywhere in the picture at the moment.
Right.
Number 8, this offensive line. So, again, stopping their run and having strong play by our run. And what's this come down to, Derby? It's all the interior line that we talk about. You got to have a line. You got to have a good line in the NFL. You have to have a good line.
Stopping Hutchinson is probably the key of the game this week, is stopping him.
I agree.
He can make a game change like that.
And then one more set of interesting statistics here. Teams with the lowest pressures rates allowed this season, guys.
Tortilla?
I'm far away from that, Derpy. Just relax. Bear with me, man.
That was funny.
This is teams with the lowest pressure rates allowed this season. The Steelers, the top team, with only 26.5% pressure rate on the season. That's their offensive line. That's really good.
That's really good.
Number 2, again, 26.5. Number 2, the Rams, a front runner for the Super Bowl. A team that a lot of people are saying this team is a Super Bowl caliber team. If you have a Super Bowl caliber offensive line, it goes a long way, guys. 30.5. The Dolphins, actually, which you've seen early in this game, they stopped the run well. You can't take that away from them. They're number 3 with a 30.9 pressure rate allowed. The Broncos, with that great defense, 31. We are 5% better at stopping the run than that great Denver Broncos defense. You got to
crazy.
And finally, the other defense, number 5, you'll see playing tonight, the Seattle Seahawks. They come in number 5 with a 32.8.
And we never should have lost that game either.
You know what? I was talking about the defense, and I said I'm kind of switching back, and I apologize. I'm realizing I'm doing it as I'm going. I talked about the Broncos
that game
offensive
we
line.
Definitely lost, Ryan. I'll tell you that. Looking back in it now.
And then I talked about their defense. So just relax. Derpy's really throwing me off today. So just
I'm
relax.
Sorry. I'm just saying we never should have lost that Seahawks game though.
But albeit the Broncos, 31% lowest pressure rate. I'm sorry, which has nothing to do with the defense. So just throw that all out. And again, Seahawks 32.8. So can we do it? Yeah, we can. We can do these things. Will
They're
they?
beatable.
That's
They're
the
very
question.
much beatable.
That's the question. Let's get back on this.
Perform?
What's that, Derpy?
The question is, can they perform?
That's the big question. And again,
What
it's
kind
not
of
will this team
Steelers
come out
team?
and beat us in a game that we gave it all? It's
Right.
or are we going to come out and give it all?
Right. And
You
I
know,
think lately they can, the way they've been playing. I don't know what got into that Ravens game, but there was a different type of energy going into that game, and in the entire game, I felt like there was a switch, and then you saw it in the Miami game too. Even though they're like one of the bad teams, but you get my point.
and that's the thing that scares me though, because Miami's not a good team, and the Ravens is a rivalry game, and we see them twice a year, and that game is always good just because we know them so well. So again, this is a litmus test. I said this at the beginning of the week. I've been using this game as a litmus test.
Right.
Let's see where we stand. I think we could win. It just matters if they think that they could win and they could prepare themselves to do that. Let's move on the board though. Yinzer Joe, let me go right here. The Lions' offensive scheme hasn't changed. Just the play caller. Campbell's a good head coach and caller. We have to show up and hit them in the mouth. And that's the thing. They're saying that they have to come out and be physical against us. They're facing the Steelers.
My thing is with their offense, they're not as explosive as last year. They're still, they're pretty good, but they're not as explosive as last year.
If they couldn't be explosive, that would make me feel a lot better, because maybe they didn't have the personnel they had last year or something like that. But the fact they have the same crew, these are the same group of guys, which means these guys could break a play at any given time when you're talking Gibbs, Montgomery, and St. Brown. And again, Jared Goff, I'm not a huge fan, and I never said he's a top quarterback.
He's a system quarterback.
He's consistent. The guy can put up a 300-yard game. He can, and he will.
System quarterback.
We have to show up and hit him in the mouth. Mike Tomlin on the terrible board, he says Derpy has a good point. Yes, that's called his head. Jamal says, what up, Derpy? I see you got the beard going. I like that ish. Looking good, Derpy.
Right here. Right
what do you got? Is that a bandana or is that another Santa hat? What do you got there? It is your Santa hat.
Santa hat, the Star Wars Santa hat.
All right, look at you.
Star Wars sweater.
Did you hear this? I mean, I know it's really you're in the movies and things and shows and did you see they're moving the Oscars
to
YouTube here?
Did see that. Yeah, I did see that the other day.
2029, the Oscars will no longer be on national TV. 2029, they're moving the Oscars right here to YouTube. I thought that was interesting.
I mean, it's a platform for everyone now instead of at least it's not on YouTube TV.
Do you like that?
I think the change is good because then, most of the younger audiences watch the Oscars nowadays instead of the older, because they changed the narrative these days.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for the time of change.
All right. We'll check it out. We got till 2029, but that is the plan. They are moving the Oscars from TV to YouTube. So we'll see what the health state we're even in 2029. Again, if 3i Atlas can take us all tonight, and we'll never know.
Right.
So Steeler Freak says the Lions aren't a tier 1 team right now. A win isn't that big. You know what? It's not. But again, where are we? Where are we? It's going to put us. It's going to be a litmus test, John, to show us where we stand. After we had this little success run. Are we going to be thrown back to the bottom of the pack by shit in the bed? What if the Lions come out and beat us 42-13?
It's always a possibility, knowing the Steelers.
But this is what I'm saying. I mean, it's not a big win, but it is a big win. It's a game that's really going to tell us about ourselves, especially at this point in the season, Derpy. Just a couple weeks away from the NFL playoffs. So, in a sense, you're right, John. It has no bearing on certain things, but in other things, I do think that it does have a bearing on. Wade Jones
also, like I said earlier, is like all the analysts, ESPN analysts, everyone's like, most of them are picking Detroit, which could be a motivation factor for the Steelers.
Which I wouldn't expect anything else. Derpy, to be honest, listen, I wouldn't expect to turn on the TV and see. What I see was 9 out of 10 people pick Detroit.
Right, that's what I said.
Do you think that sounds accurate as far as the media?
Accurate, but it could motivate the Steelers to go into Detroit and beat them. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see. We also got this here from Wade Johnson. Win the next two games and rest everyone in Baltimore. Avoid limping into the playoffs. And keep an eye on Baltimore this weekend because that's a big game too. If they lose to New England, despite what we do, that's huge. Because if we could go to Cleveland the following week and win that football game, we're then seeing if the Ravens can beat the Packers. Because if they can't, then you know what? Again, that Week 18 matchup means nothing. And we are in the playoffs, and we already won the division. So, again, that's a game to keep your eye on this week, guys, is that Ravens game. No two ways about it. Yeah, go ahead, Derpy.
Don't they play the Seahawks tonight?
No.
No, I thought they played the Seahawks. Or is it the Rams?
Yeah, the Rams and Seahawks tonight.
Oh, I thought they – okay. Then who's the Ravens got?
I don't know.
England?
Yeah. Yeah, they're up in they're playing New England. In New England. So that's good.
Ooh. That might be good for us.
He says, win the next two games, avoid limping into the playoffs. Steeler Freak says Detroit is about 12th in the power rankings. Tyrone says, Steeler Freak definitely be a good win. Follows it up by saying, almost a top 10 team. Bingo says, what do you mean by you people? Tortilla says 3-eye Atlas 3-1 whatever it is it the dinosaurs coming back. Expect to see the dinosaurs coming back tonight also or tomorrow. Also, Fearless Steel, what's up, big brother? He says, what up, Watt fans? Watt is your daddy, and Teflon Don should hang it up and sucks. Big Slim 20s, what's up? Great to see you back on the terrible board. Big Slim says, good morning, my Steeler fam. Great to see you, my man. Hope you're ready for the big game. Just learning. We appreciate that, sir. Always great. Thank you for the compliments. Just learning says best Steeler pod. He follows it up by saying, what up, Big Slim? Tortilla, Derpy going to wrestle an alligator. You know what? He just might be. I got my eye on this guy.
I'm going to do it.
I got my eye on him. Big Slim, what's going on, fam? To just learning. Sorry, Tyrone. We need Pats to beat the Ravens, and we beat the absolutely. That's the best case scenario for this weekend. If we could beat the Lions, listen, and that's a big if, guys. And that's one thing that we got to remember. Yeah. If they don't win this week, it's okay.
My thing is the Steelers are playing good football at the right time, though, regardless of the rankings. They're playing football.
But if you would have turned around and talked about a Lions game from last week and they would have beat the worst team in the league, and we would have said, wow, look how good they were. They were just all over the place. They weren't able to be stopped. And then you would say to me, what? You would say, well, Ryan, they played the worst team in the league. Would we not put that into consideration?
You're right.
So keep that in mind. And again, it's okay. If they lose, it's not necessary entirely for them to win. Yes, it would be a help. Yes, it would go a long way. But things almost don't change even if they don't win this football game. I think this football game is bigger, Derpy, for the reasons that I want to see this team play good football against a good team for once.
Yep.
Chargers, a good team. They beat us. The Bills, a good team. They beat us. Green Bay's a good team. They beat us. Go look at the teams right now. Pull up your schedule. Look at the teams we beat and look at the teams we didn't beat. The teams we didn't beat were all teams that I say that you would put into a category with the Detroit Lions, the Bills, the Chargers, the Packers. Good.
Well, they were all primetime games.
Exactly. So
this isn't a primetime game.
And then all the games that they won, Derpy, were against the teams that aren't so good. Minnesota. Seattle's another one we lost to. So again, you got to consider that. Look at who we are. Look at where we're at. And that's why I think, again, Sunday is a huge game to just see where we're at right now. Week 16, 2 weeks of the playoffs. We got to get a feel, and I think this is a good game to get that feel of how you might just show up in the playoffs. Are you going to be prepared to be able to play a team that's a little bit better in that caliber, or are you going to be the same team that was inconsistent all season long? This game is big for that reason, guys. For us as fans to see what our team could bring to the table when it comes down to it. Again, if they lose, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's actually not. Because if we beat Cleveland and they lose this week and they lose next week again, we could own that title before our game against them even comes in week 18.
Right.
And again, we beat Baltimore no matter what the scenario, we win the division. So a win over them, you're in. Win, you're in. No matter what else happens. We could have it before then. But nothing else matters if we don't, if we win, we beat Baltimore at home. So that's the way that it plays out right now, guys. Things, could still go bad. Things are looking good.
Yeah.
But they could still go bad. I want to keep that in mind, everybody, as we do get ready. And again, I do think this is a winnable game. It just depends which team comes out on that football field. As I said the last 2 weeks, as I said the last 5 weeks, as I might have said the last 17 weeks, Derby, I don't know what it was. But if they're ready, they could win. If they're not, they won't. Just Learning says this in New Mexico. Good weather. That's great, brother.
There we go.
We're to 55, and I got to be honest with you. I'm loving it. Phil says, 54. Boom, mothers. Steeler Freak says, Allen and the Bills should be the most excited right now. Absolutely. And you know what? That just shows that just tells me that they're going to screw it up.
I agree, because they're the Bills.
Have they ever not screwed it up, Derby? Every try they ever gave in the NFL.
I mean,
they were unsuccessful if you think about it. Never winning a Super Bowl.
They had 4 tries. They had 4 tries to get one done, and they couldn't. So, I mean, that's the perfect example of what their organization is. Just frauds every year.
They sure did.
They choke in big moments.
Big Slim says, hell yeah, I'm freezing my ass off in Kansas City. Yeah, man. The Midwest is still kind of cold. We're warming up briefly, but I think it's going back down next week here in Western PA. Field of Steel says, comment of the year in a heartbeat. To Bingo. I think that was going back to the I could picture what the comment was. I just can't think of who it was referring to at this moment. It was somebody that we would take. I don't remember. Dan Campbell, maybe. Yinzer Joe says, I think it'll be the Broncos and the Rams. It would be a good Super Bowl. What game that would be? You know what? That's the 2 number 1 seeds right now.
That's pretty good.
They're the 2 teams that won't be playing in the second week of January. So, if you're a gambling man and you want to go for the favorites, that's who you go with. Denver and the Rams. And today says Rodgers will have another 3-touchdown game, 31-23. Tyrone says, please don't get me having nightmares. Why? Derpy pull up his shirt again, or what the hell? I'm not sure what that comment was about.
I'm going to do it.
Don't, please. If you don't want me to lose my shit entirely today, please. Derpy says, I still have nightmares about Blake Bortles. Tortilla, I'm sorry, says,
jeez.
So, yeah.
That was a crazy year that they won that. They shouldn't have won against us, bro.
Jamal says, let's get this win. Hopefully we don't give up and fight all. And that's what they got to do. They have to decide they want to be a football team that could win and play do all the things that good teams do.
Yep.
If you don't see yourself giving it all in the fourth quarter, and don't sit around and say, well, we don't know why we didn't play up to our standard. We got to play better. It's going to get better. Just watch. We got to do things in practice better.
We have the pieces.
You have Derby. We're in week 16. How long could you continue using those excuses? So again, there's no excuse at this point. Get this team ready. Get out there and play your best football.
And we have the experience. We have the pieces, Ryan.
I know we do.
It's a matter of coming together.
This isn't a bunch of kids that never play. We got a decent football team, guys. Come on.
We have a lot of Super Bowl winners too.
We got a lot of things going. It's not a bad situation. Again, it just makes you think if situations were different, this team might be really good or really bad. It's hard to say. So again, I'm not saying anything about any individuals, but I'm just saying it could. Because we have a nice team, and if done properly and putting certain strategies in place and doing certain things, I think this team could be damn good. We're just not living up to their standards. We're very inconsistent. And again, you don't know which team is showing up from Sunday to Sunday. That's the big problem, in my opinion. There's a few other, but come on, that's pretty big. Tortilla says we got midget strippers at the wide receivers. Yeah,
that might be game ball, dude. That might be game ball.
And Roman Wilson bumped back down. He's getting bumped back down again on the roster. I don't expect to see him maybe anymore this season. I don't. I really don't.
I still can't believe you chose a Michigan receiver or a Ohio State receiver, but hey, I did.
John says Texas, Broncos, Bills are at plus 800. The Steelers are plus 7,000. The Rams at 3. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
So, I mean, put your money on the Steelers. If they do it, you win big. If not,
There's a lot of connections to the Steelers, like a narrative. I'm just saying.
What do you mean? I
already explained it in the group chat. There's a lot of narratives for the Steelers, even the Broncos, too.
Good. I'm kind of doing a couple things right here, Derby. Go ahead with your point. No.
Even the Packers. Well, It's in California this year, right?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is from California.
But you know what? I
Also
have
been 10 years for the Broncos. It's also been 10 years since Peyton Manning retired.
But then I have Finch on the other hand telling me that it's a shoo-in that the Indianapolis Colts are going to win because he's convinced that Phillip Rivers is brought back to win it all. And so again, the narratives are crazy. Yes, Aaron is from California.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's that's why they play the game, right?
Right.
But it's interesting. I'm sure that's something.
There's just a lot of narratives. I don't know, man. There's just a lot of narratives this year.
All right, we'll hope for the best. We will hope for the best. And again, we'll see, guys. It comes down to them, of course, and we know this. We're just the fan, the common fan, if you will. But our guys, I think they could do it. I think they could get some shit done if they played to their potential.
Yep.
I really do. That's been the problem with this team is consistently playing to their potential.
Yep.
Tortilla says this. He says, so should I put some money on the Steelers right now? Tyrone says, nah, man, chill on that. Shiesty says, I wouldn't put someone else's money on the Steelers, let alone my own money. Good point. Bingo says they played the worst team in football. You mean like a scrimmage or something? Steeler Freak says the Steelers could make a lot of money. Long shots always do. You're right.
Yep.
They won more than they lost this year, and I'm pretty sure we were underdogs in all of them games except for last week. Phil says I told Two Dum Yinzers Monday after 2024 lost to the Ratbirds. All coaches have to go. What the fuck are they doing still on the Steelers sideline? And told you these coaches Steelers don't have that identity anymore. They don't.
They don't.
It's obvious. I mean, this is not the team that we've been enjoying for the past 50 years. And
because Mr. Rooney's not here anymore. We have the younger Rooney now.
Oh, Mr. Rooney, Mrs. Rooney, baby Rooney, Bob Rooney. It doesn't matter. Somebody's got to be. It's
different
football.
Mentality though when it comes to he's more.
It's football. Side. It's not rocket science. This is something that
side though, right?
There's something that. What's that?
The new Rooney's. I don't know. Like. You know what I'm saying? The second is basically
13-year-old kids every year get it together enough to play and have a good football season in midgets.
You're right.
16-year-old kids get it together enough every year to have a great season in high school. What's the problem? It's been 10 years. That's my question. That's what I'm saying. Everything else.
It's a different league
fluff.
now, honestly.
It's just really fluff. Is. Tortilla says, shit, that's an easy win. Make the playoffs. You hit 9 wins. You hit like 9 out of 8 times. Shiesty says that Phil, for real coaches have been the problem for a minute.
Yeah, but Phil, he doesn't like spending shit, so he doesn't.
He's paying our head coach more money than any other head coach in the league. So I mean, he's obviously paying something.
That's fair, but he's more of a ticket guy though than an IQ of a football.
Yinzer Joe says this. Everyone was saying the Dolphins are on a 4-game winning streak and fighting for their coach and their jobs and their playoff lives. Their running game was the tops in the league, the unstoppable. I think they kept referring to it as how can the Steelers how can they stop the unstoppable? And then he finishes it up by saying, in no way the Steelers should lose to the Steelers. Same thing. Yinzer Joe says also same thing is going on with the Lions. They're so good on offense and shouldn't lose to the Steelers. What happens if the Steelers pull it off?
The Lions will probably likely win, but I just cannot count out the Steelers regardless, just because of the history behind it. I cannot count out the Steelers this week.
And it's your squad too. You don't want to count them out. We're going all the way, and
Right.
Tortilla says, if we win, build the Mike Tomlin statue. If we win a Super Bowl, by all means, build the Mike Tomlin statue. I will. I'll go and I'll do the. I'll help. I don't know what I could do, but I'll help. I'll go and observe or whatever it is that I do best, and I will do that because again, if you win a Super Bowl this season,
then everybody else got to shut up.
Build that Mike Tomlin statue, and I don't know if anything short of that's going to save him at this point. I'm going to be honest.
Right. Yeah, true.
Steeler Freak says 6 of the last Steelers L's are from. You're right. Pull up the teams right now and look at the teams that we lost to, Derpy. Just pull up our schedule real quick while I'm continuing. And I want to get into that for just a few moments because, again, every team that we lost to are playoff teams. Every team that we beat are the teams that aren't going to be playing with the exception of the Bengals. I think they're the only team that ain't in the playoffs right now that we lost to. Tortilla says the statue of mediocrity. Jamal says Mike Tomlin for life. Let's save my boy career. Go Steelers. All right, Derby. Give me the teams that we beat first.
We beat the Jets. We beat the Patriots.
Okay, so hold on. Let's go. Okay, so we beat the Patriots. That's a good thing. Yes, we beat the Jets. One losing team, one winning team. Go ahead.
We beat the Vikings.
Losing team.
The Browns.
Losing team.
Beat the Colts.
Losing team. Not in the playoffs right now. Still hovering above 500, but they are definitely going to slide. Bungles. Not in the playoffs. Who?
Bungles.
We beat them. The Bengals.
Ravens.
The Ravens. And the Dolphins. So the only team out of that group, the New England Patriots, are going to see in the playoffs. Now go to the teams that go to the other teams, the teams that beat us.
Seahawks.
Playoffs.
It was a close game.
Derpy playoffs. Go ahead.
The stupid Caleb Johnson incident. We lost to the Bengals, which is crazy, by 2 because that stupid.
All right, go ahead.
Field goal. Only lost to the Packers by 10.
Playoffs. Go ahead.
Got dominated on Sunday night against the Chargers.
Playoffs. Go ahead.
And then the disappointment that is the Bears game. And
playoffs. Anybody else?
Bills.
And the Bills beat us. Playoffs. So when you look at that, all the good teams so far that are in the playoffs, they beat us. All the bad teams that aren't in the playoffs, we beat, with the exception one way. The Bengals and the Bills, or the Bengals in New England. We beat New England. We lost to the Bengals, which would be the only two that are out of my narrative. But what I'm saying is we haven't beat anybody good. Yep. So, again, can we beat Detroit? Yes. Just relax a little bit, though. Again, I don't want people after this week throwing in the towel if we get dominated, as we did against Buffalo. It's possible.
Yeah, it is
possible. It is possible. But we can win as well. I do believe that. So, again, what Steelers team? It's just what team shows up at 4:25 on Sunday is the answer to it all. That's the answer to this question. If you're wondering and you love your Steelers, watch early, watch the performance, watch what these guys are looking like, and if they look like they're ready to play football, they could win. If they look like they're out there doing what they do sometimes, it's going to be it's going to be a long day.
Yep.
All right, we're going to go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, can we leave Roman and Detroit? I wish.
Jeez, that's what I said earlier.
Jeez, oh, man. Tyrone
maybe it'll perform better for a Michigan team.
Tyrone says, we got this game. And today says, mark my words, the Steelers are better than the Lions.
I think they are, too. It just depends on how they'll perform.
Feel the Steel. Feel the Steel says, and can the coaches coach a great game? Also, I still see too many 3-and-outs on offense. They certainly went down, but you know what? They're there. You're right. And that's the thing. Improved or not, what are they going to do this week? And again, I think if they come out like they did last week, we're going to do well. And it was against the Dolphins. Absolutely. I acknowledge that. And again, that's the point that I was trying to make earlier. Hey, look, it's Tater Tot. Would you believe it? This mother, they keep showing up. Hey, man, how you doing, Tater Tot? He says, go Browns.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Tater says, Brown, number one fan. I think it says Browns no fans in the country. It's the way that it's actually written. And I understand that. And I also understand that Lindsay is saying that he's a secret Steeler fan.
Oh.
Which I think I might agree with that as well because, hang out long enough, you'll be wearing you'll be waving your terrible towel there, Tater Tot. No, just relax. Steele says this. He says Derps and Vanilla put the game on the players, but but what about Teflon Don, Smith and Austin? How are they going to scheme and coach? Bingo says if we do manage a W against the Lions, the Browns game could be ugly. It's just a pattern. Maybe we're due for an end of the season loss before we could win a couple more games. If we're going to go on a run, maybe we need another loss.
I might have to agree with you on that.
That's
I'm just hoping it's close, competitive more
that's
the same.
that's something that happens. You run into you sometimes you're better off taking a loss at a certain point and then kind of starting over.
Right.
Because once you get so far along, you're like, damn, we just won like 9 games in a row. We got to lose at some point. So
Right.
again, are we due for that loss? Tortilla says Tomlin lied for our Yins. Yinzer Joe Derpy, the Lions rush offense is top 5. Passing is top 4. And the red zone offense is top 3. How it is not as good as last season when there were top 5 in both last year as well.
Because nobody's talking about them. That's the thing. Like last year, nobody's really picking them besides beating teams they should beat.
I think they overachieved a little bit last year.
Right.
And maybe they settled down to earth. And again, they're not even a playoff team, so of course nobody's going to be giving them that benefit of the doubt. I mean, wherever they're at, I know they're 3rd in division, and I don't know if that gets them in at this point. It may. I don't have it right in front of me. But let's move along. Yeah. Phil Steele says divisional games aren't a cakewalk. Tough games for the Teflon Don. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at Tater Tot. Like the Squealers. That's another good one. You ever see like when these people really think they're getting you?
They call them this. Yeah,
they're getting you, Derby. They're really getting you. They're like, oh, those Pittsburgh Squealers. Yeah, man.
Unfortunately, my mom brings the Squealers up all the time because,
I'm heavily offended by the Squealers.
I am too.
Let's see. Good one and hilarious. Lindsay Mark Malone, what's up? Mark, he says, hey, Derpy, you got up early today.
It's picks day. I got you.
It's picks day, and I decided to fire him after the picks. I was going to let him work all day and then fire him at the end of the day. I've been in that position before, on both sides of it actually. You Browns fan, shut up is what Tyrone is saying. Field of Steel says, I'm telling you now, not with these coaches. And that's a fair argument. It's fair,
but you can't give up on them regardless.
Cleavage Brown. All right. Tater says Detroit 38, Pittsburgh 10. Tortilla says you don't even got to mispronounce Cleveland Browns. The words are already fugly as hell. You want something fun? I think I
play some clown music and then just talk.
I have something fun for you, Tater Tot. Here you go. Ben Roethlisberger, who your daddy. Ben,
your daddy, yeah.
3 Super Bowl appearances. Ben, 3 losses to the Browns in 20 years almost. So 3. We lost to you 3 times in 20 years. Our quarterback went to the same amount of Super Bowls as the amount of times that you beat us. That's all I wanted to say.
That's all we need to say.
I just had that little side note. I thought, if Tater Tot pops in, I'm gonna throw that one out there because again, the Browns beat us 3 times. Beat Ben 3 times, and Ben managed to get to the Super Bowl 3 times, which is the hardest thing to do. So again,
and the only thing a Browns fan could do is bring up anything before 1964.
Right, before it counted. Well, we had championships before it was the Super Bowl.
Right.
No, you know what? I had baseball trophies before I was you know what I mean? I had Little League trophies. What's that? That's nothing.
Chlamydia Browns.
Let's see. Let's go right here. Feel the Steel. Steelers been choking since the Obama administration. It's true. We haven't won a playoff game since Obama was still in office. Guys, we've had like a bunch of presidents since then.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's absolutely crazy.
Tater Tot says, I know a guy from Pittsburgh. He married his brother's sister. It's a true story.
I haven't heard that one before.
In the thing, yeah.
I've not heard that.
Yeah, everyone in Cleveland's ugly. Tyrone, he says Cleveland bunch drunk fucks because they know the team's finna lose. Absolutely, man. Tater Tot. He says Pittsburgh, where the men are men and so are the women. Hey, we have some of them, and you know what? I think that's hate speech anymore. Better relax there, Tater Tot. Feel the Steel says, I'll keep my word. If Tomlin gets Steelers to the Super Bowl, I will change my YouTube name from Feel the Steel to loser. All
right, we'll take it. Put your money where your mouth is.
A Tomlin statue and a loser. Feel the steel? Boy, the stakes are getting high. They are getting high. I do got to say that.
High.
Lindsay says this. I would come to a Steeler pod too if I were a Browns fan. You love your daddy. Steelers, right? Everybody loves their daddy. Come on, Tater Tot. Tortilla says the Browns have had more quarterbacks than Taylor Swift has had songs.
Oof, that's a good one.
And none of them are any good on either.
None of them are any good
examples. Fearless Steel says Rooney isn't Tomlin at Derps. Also, Tyrone says Browns are a joke. I talk shit to my girl all the time. At least she admits it. Also, she says the TJ Watt's better than Garrett. Besides this year, she knows more ball than you.
That's valid. That's valid.
And you know what, my man Tyrone, he's gonna be in your trap 2 weeks. No, next week. Tyrone will be in the area for the big game.
Very valid, Tyrone.
Him and his girlfriend, though, will be in Cleveland next weekend for the big game. Lindsay says the Lions haven't lost twice. The Lions haven't lost twice in 3 years. Tyrone says we'll take that. Lindsay, Mark Malone, the script on the statue should read the Rooney Roller. He finally won one on his own. Ooh. Let's see what else. Bingo says, this Tomlin statue, please let me be reincarnated as an effing pigeon so I can continue to shit on Tomlin in the next life. You know what? That's game ball material, too.
That's game ball material.
That's game ball material.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That
was really good, Ryan.
Feel like that. Everybody like that. End of day, Steelers beat the Patriots. Tortilla, if you read cut your eyelids off before you die, or it will read cut your eyelids off before you die. Tater Tot says Tallman is a football genius. I just don't know how he gets the best out of crappy players year after year. This is the Browns fan saying that. Think of the last time the Browns wasn't loaded with crappy players. Tyrone says we need a good win. Give us the. You know what we do? We need a good win, guys. Wouldn't this be a perfect win for the Steelers? We just went through the teams that we beat. We went through the teams that we lost to. Wouldn't this be the confidence booster you would think a team that just played this schedule where we're at would be? Beating Detroit goes a long way, I think, for the Steelers. Also, Lindsay says last week was a good win. They've gained confidence for sure. For sure for the confidence.
That was a good one, yeah.
I'd like to see it against a better team with, just a team that we're not supposed to beat.
Right.
Again, I kind of ticketed that Miami game as a team that we should beat, and we should have, and we did. So that was went the way it should have. Tortilla says, who gets the best out of crappy players? Feel is still at Ryan. I threw the towel since the Obama administration. Steeler Freak says, I rode with Tomlin until the Jags playoff loss in 2018. I respect his ability to coach current 2025 players. Nolan Cowher would have had heart attacks and couldn't do it now. Feels that old Tater Tot over there. Steeler Freak also says Tomlin's issue is that the NFL strategy has passed him by. Yes. He's not a dumb guy. He's not a this. He's not a that. He's a guy that's been coaching for 20 years, and that happens because Chuck Noll, again, from 1988 to 91, 87 to 91, even earlier in the 80s, this was what we had. We had a team that couldn't make the playoffs. When we did have a team that could make the playoffs, the team couldn't win in the playoffs, and they were stale and getting passed by everybody. Chuck Noll, 4 Super Bowl championships in 6 years. Even he got left behind, guys. Steeler Freak, that's, again, you know what? That's up there with the game ball of the day as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Not that I don't like him. I love the coach. He's going to be our coach for the rest of history as far as Chuck Noll, and so is Bill Cowher, and so is Mike Tomlin. These are going to be people that we talk about, bragging about our squad for the rest of our lives. And, say what you want.
Basically, in terms of explanation, basically, his time has come because the era is Tomlin.
Oh,
the time has come, and basically the era has changed. It's basically what he's saying.
Tortilla says your taters are your biggest fans. Tater bot.
Okay.
Steeler Freak says, Kenneth, what's up, dude? Always great seeing my man Kenneth on the board. He says someone called the dog catcher. They're dropping brownies on our lawn. I like it. Hey, Kenneth, throwing his hat in for the game ball as well today.
Yep.
Let's jump back up here to where Steeler Freak says Tater bot wears a terrible towel as a thong. You know what? The guys are
my.
really creative today. I got to be honest with you.
Oh my. Oh my.
This might be one of the tougher game balls to award. I got to be honest. Phyllis still says, Mr. Jones, there's a dog in my lawn. Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. Dog bit my ass today, son. Kenneth says, someone called the dog catcher. There it is. Okay, Lindsay, if we can, if we win, can people give us credit finally and let Tom? I highly doubt it. Pittsburgh is this is the game in Pittsburgh, especially as a Steeler fan. They won't give us credit until we win a Super Bowl, and then they won't either,
Right.
For whatever reason. And again, a playoff win is going to be required for Mike Tomlin to not catch the shit for the next 365 days. It's just it's what it is. We went 9 years without going on 9 years without winning a playoff game. So again, a playoff win is required, I think, just to even begin to get people to shut up. And at that point, I don't even know if it's going to work. Phil says that Lindsay, see if you feel the same in a couple of weeks. Tater says make sure and wake Grandpa Rogers up for the bench when the offense takes the field. Again, with the Brown, with these quarterback jokes. The chlamydia Browns.
That's what I saw earlier. That was so good.
Kenneth Tortilla says make sure Deion Sanders wakes Shador up for school. And you know what? They just reinstated the other what's his name? Deshaun Watson. He's in the mix now too.
That's crazy. He's been the best cheerleader of all time, making all that money.
That's what you call what it is that he's doing since he's been in Cleveland, I guess. Tyrone says feel believe. Lindsay says I said it if we still win still. I'm sorry. Phil also says Tyrone believe what one and done. Nah, brother, I'm done. Tater says Shador is heading to the Pro Bowl. Shador ain't heading to no Pro Bowl. What are you kidding? The guy
about the Pro Bowl.
The guy got drafted after the draft was over. Like literally, he was in danger of not getting drafted. Steeler Freak says the Browns have won a playoff game. The Browns have won a playoff game since the Steelers. Who did they beat, and what's the score? And that's the thing. They're going to talk about that one playoff game forever.
Yeah.
That's their Super Bowl.
That's their Super Bowl.
They won their Super Bowl.
They won their Super Bowl. And
Tyrone,
then the quarterback ditched them.
Yeah. They won their Super Bowl, and then the only quarterback they've ever had that could do that, he got the hell out of town.
Yep.
Tyrone says we're going to win this one this year. We got it, A-Rod. We got A-Rod. Tortilla says who fucking cares about the Pro Bowl?
Exactly.
I know.
Apparently, Steelers fans every year want them to vote for him, but I'm just checking.
No, you gotta vote. You gotta stay involved, man. That's our squad, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But I'm tired of going to Pro Bowls. I want a Super Bowl, man.
Shador playing flag football. Tyrone says walk in your trap. Lindsay says enjoy when the team is doing good. At least they have some confidence. Last year, 5 games. Absolutely. December was a nightmare last year.
Yep. It was very much a nightmare.
We're 2-0, Derpy, in December this year with the potential of beating a good team.
It's very beatable.
Again, guys, this game it's going to tell a lot about the team.
I agree.
I think. Because, again, it's Derpy. It's week 16. There's not much else that's going to change between now and nope. January. Come on.
We did sign someone today, I believe, though.
We'll get to that in just a sec. We'll get to all the signings. We did make some moves. But guys, we're a week away from Christmas. The time to mess around.
That's crazy.
It is, Derpy, to figure out we don't know what our identity is. Come on. That's why this game is big in that sense.
This is the game that could change the identity and make us competitors. It depends.
And again, you can't you're right.
Depends on what team the Bobo will form Sunday.
Bingo says, I don't know about that. Baker turned out pretty damn good, but the Browns forced him out. Well, let's just roll with that just because Tater Tot is let's see. Jamal says Mike T for life, jackass. Also, Somber says Shador is heading to the bench when they draft another quarterback. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be drafting another quarterback in April. Right. Somber, you just waking up. Did Somber come in? Yeah, Somber. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
He was said Shador's heading to the bench. Okay, yeah, that was. Welcome, Somber. Great seeing you, dude. Mark Malone, I wonder what Tomlin thinks about Asians and their eyelids. Well, them Asians are taking a beating this week on the show. Finch was he was saying, I don't know, he was saying all kind of shit the other day about Asians. Let's move on. Joe says, you know what? I skipped one. Jamal says, nope, I'm going to go right here. Tortilla. Tomlin probably sees cover 2 on every Asian's face. Jamal says, none of that is true about Tomlin. He's the GOAT. Yinzer Joe says, to be fair, no one really expected the Steelers to beat the Ravens, and they did. You know what I did? I was here saying that. I said
I knew they could beat the Ravens.
Because the Ravens, I did. If you would go back and look, I did it. I was very confident, actually.
Yeah.
That we beat them. Because I seen the way they played against the Bengals and the Cleveland Browns, and I compared it to how we look against those teams, and they looked a lot worse.
Lamar has not been Lamar of old. I'll say that. Regardless of how well we perform against them every time.
Little Tater Tot, he goes 8-9 won't get Pitts puke to January. Dude, we already got 8 wins, bro. We got 3 games left. You're dumb.
Have fun with your 4 wins again. 4 and 5 wins, whatever.
How dumb. Let's see. 7071.
That's the
very
standard
mean,
in Cleveland.
But very funny. And the days of the Steelers beat the Lions, we lock up the North with the Browns win. They have to lose one. If we beat both of these teams, then they have to lose at least one of their games. Or if they lose both of their games and we win at least one of these next 2, then we also lock it up before the Ravens. Other than that, beat the Ravens and you're in. That's bottom line. You can't get any more bottom line than that. You beat the Ravens, you're in. This guy is talking about January when his season was over in November. How wild is that? I agree. You know what? He's fun though, isn't he? It's kind of fun to be able to take shots and stick around, Tater Tot. Let's go right here. Another word to cover the flats. Phil Steele says at least Nolan Cowher got Steeler Nation to the AFC Championship. Teflon Don hasn't done much since the Obama administration. Toga Jamal says this. You know how I feel about Tomlin, but the pigeon in the statue is just funny. Let's see. Jamal says we're winning the Super Bowl. Tater Tot says Browns and Steelers went up just the same, but used to live off false hope. Well, that are 6 Super Bowls.
There's 6 Super Bowls.
Compare that against your,
your championship.
You know what? As a matter of fact, compare that against anything that we've Ian's ever done.
Right. Except choking baseball, choking basketball, choking football, all the time. Just a lot of choking in Cleveland history.
And the funny thing is, we're like 10 times better than they are this year. And look at him going. He's still going, and I like it. I like the fight. He might be the trade piece, Derby, that I trade you away for one day. So you better pay attention. Phil the Steel says that bingo
Never.
Comments are fire. Someone did you hear someone in Miami tell A-Rod to get? Yeah, I did. That was hilarious, man.
That was I've seen an edit and that was awesome.
That was you know what? Yeah, that was funny for sure. Andrew Joe says that Tater Tot, if you don't have a Polish boy to finish off, shut it up, dude. You have nothing to stand by on this year. Browns are garbage, as they always are, and trying to make the Steelers worse than the Browns isn't justified, and it's impossible. Steelers will never be worse than the Browns. Never.
I think the best explanation of the
here's the thing. They have to win 7 Super Bowls to pass us. So again, that's never gonna happen. Not in our life. Never.
I think the best explanation of the Steelers lately, Aaron Rodgers put it lightly on Monday night. Said, "Where's my tequila at?"
Really?
That's the best. I think that's the best explanation of the Steelers lately.
Jamal says, "Where's Cody? Where is Cody?"
Yeah, where is Cody?
Phil the Steel says Cody's with Aunt Peaches today. John
Hey
says,
now,
hey, yeah.
my Aunt Peaches.
What is going on? I mean, we're coming up on the holidays. Derpy, how's Peaches doing? She ready? Lindsay says, hopefully getting tested. John says, I knew they weren't winning the Super Bowl this year before the season started. I also know philosophy changes must happen before they will. Absolutely. That means changing their approach or both leaving. Jamal says, didn't we release Deshaun? No, dude, he got swiped. Jamal, Cincinnati swiped him off our way from our practice squad.
Who?
Keyshawn Williams.
Oh,
the returner that we were moving players around to make moves for other guys. He got swiped off just 2 days ago on Tuesday. He got swiped off of the waivers. The Bengals, who literally have nothing going on, they're going to go and start swiping players. Come on.
Right.
That's them trying to hurt us. They seen something they liked in him. They said, this guy got talent, but he's gone.
Dang it.
Tortilla, he got signed. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's over in Cincinnati. Cody is either at work or working on his next victim. Somper says the Bengals got him. My bad. You good? Jamal, let's see. Mark Malone, you guys were talking ones about the chinks in the armor. The chinks in the armor is what it was. I was going to let it slide under the rug, but thank you, Mark. The chinks in the armor. Somber says, yeah, Jamal. Well, since he snagged him from our practice squad, Jamal says, man, we always at least split with the Ravens. Jamal also says, shaking my head, Cincy, that's crazy because they keep their receiver talent. He must be good. Tater Tot said dog pound.
Good one, Ryan.
John says Ryan was right about the Colts and the Ravens. Lindsay says no one ever said the Steelers were not beating the Ravens that entire week. Not Ryan, but people said we couldn't win. Absolutely. I mean, they're just people that are down and out. They're always going to say, give the most negative opinion about the team, and that's just one thing we have to understand as fans. Just realize there's other fans like that out there. Somber says
you don't deserve a Super Bowl.
Somber says even more crazy because they're mathematically out. They're mathematically out every year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But again, I think that's what kind of makes Tater Tot fun and tolerable, and why we kind of keep him around. Phil Lucille says, don't say it's a lock. Don't say it's locked until it's locked, darn it. Tyrone says, Ryan, you heard it here first. At Browns will have less than 50 yards. Brown will have less than 50 yards. Okay. I hope you're right, dude. I hope you're right. Stopping their skill players is going to be a challenge. Lindsay said, if this team had the same, only this team had the same fight. Phil says, yeah, Tater Tot, if is our hamster here on Dum Yinzers, let's have fun with the little Tater Tot. He's like our hamster.
That one game ball too.
Jamal says, I'm sure Finch knows what a Polish boy is.
That's out of pocket.
Mark Malone, is that a Sandusky sandwich? one of them sandwiches, believe me. Steeler Freak says, I thought the Ravens would win because of the running game. 217 yards rushing actually usually wins. I forgot the division factor. Tortilla says Cleveland has never won in any reality at any time. They always lose in every universe, no matter what they do.
LeBron doesn't count.
Tyrone, I'm not sorry. Tortilla, that's game ball worthy too. Come on, that's as honest as it gets.
Yep.
LeBron doesn't count. Even if he does, he loses just as much as he wins.
I would have to agree.
Don't the guy have more losses in the NBA Finals than he has wins? I mean, yeah, it's 100, but I mean, if he loses 200 times, what's that say? Steelers didn't want him. St. Brown, St. Brown is who I understood you saying. Lindsay, I'm in tears. I know you didn't. What? Getting tested. That was good, Lindsay. All right. We are finally caught up on the board. Let me get into some different topics here as we are starting to get to that time in the show. Something that did come out. You know what? I have to stop. I didn't do this early, and I should have. And the thing is, I just kind of assumed that everybody knew, but we did, guys. As Matthew Judon gets released by the Dolphins, the Pittsburgh Steelers go out while needing some depth at outside linebacker, and they get Jeremiah Moon. That's right.
Yay.
The Steelers bringing back former Raven and former Steeler Jeremiah Moon as a depth piece at that outside linebacker position with both TJ with his lung and with Nick Herbig in his hammy, bringing a little depth. They went out and they brought back Moon, which again, at the end of the day, yes, Judon, the name, you'd like that, but at the end of the day, guys,
probably too pricey.
You got to hope that TJ is going to come back in the next couple weeks. Again, you got to hope that Herbig is not in a long-term injury with his hammy. So no, you're not going to spend that little bit extra money to bring in a Judon. I mean, you have pieces. The thing is, if they believe they're going to be healthy in a short amount of time, going with Moon was probably the better move. Longer term, you're trying to bring in better talent. You go with Judon. But again, Matthew Judon is out there, as Alan Lazard, another name to pay attention to, a name that we've talked about a lot, Derpy, here with Alan Lazard. So again,
might be doing
Jeremiah Moon, the new Pittsburgh Steeler, back with the gang. Jeremiah Moon, everybody, to help out. He was on the Carolina practice squad, so we snagged him off of there. The same way that Keyshawn Williams got snagged from us, we went out and snagged Jeremiah Moon in that particular move. So that is where we're at there. Also, a statistic that they did talk about in the game the other night, something that Aaron Rodgers did. Aaron Rodgers, his completion percentage, Derpy, on Monday night was 85.2%. That's
pretty darn good.
That's the second highest of his career.
That's pretty darn good.
Derpy, the guy's played for 106 years. That's the second highest of his career. His percentage, you got to like that.
That's pretty darn good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Again, you know, you're looking for right now, you're looking what this team's capable of and what it is that they're able to do and what you're able to see. You're seeing them being able to do. And again, the second highest completion percentage in his long ass career, 21, whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
I like that. Again, that's encouraging.
Very encouraging, Ryan.
Also, we're talking about Kenneth Gainwell a little bit ago. There's the 8 running backs that were drafted before Kenneth Gainwell, Derpy, in 2021. Kenneth Gainwell has more rushing yards this season than 5 of them. The 8 running backs. So again, did we get a deal with Kenneth Gainwell? Has he been? I think he's probably going to be the team MVP when it's all said and done.
Right.
But
which is wild considering how Warren, has always been that guy.
8 running backs were drafted before Kenneth Gainwell in 2021, guys. Kenneth Gainwell has more rushing yards this season than 5 of them with his 451 yards, which isn't setting the world on fire by any means, but considering everybody that went before him,
right,
isn't doing as well as he is. So, let's see. We did try out 4 edge rushers yesterday. We brought in 4 gentlemen named Ronnie Perkins, Isaiah Thomas, actually, not the basketball player. Also, Casey Toohill, and O'Shane Zimenez, I think. I don't know how you say his name, but we did bring in 4 young unemployed edge rushers yesterday to try them out. And as I said, we did end up going with the move to grab Jeremiah Moon back, as he was here before. He knows the defense. And again, it's for depth at this point. And you like to hope, at least, Derpy, that our 2 outside linebackers, somebody gets healthy and somebody does it sooner than later, right?
Right.
Let's see. Detroit's leading tackler, Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell, Derpy, he's number 4 in the league in tackles. So
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is that the Iowa guy?
Damn right it is. Jack Campbell.
Gosh darn it. That's who I like. Remember that was one of the guys I wanted a couple years ago?
Yeah, I do remember. Everyone liked Jack Campbell. He was tough. He was a linebacker out of Iowa, highly touted out of college.
That's crazy. It's already been that long.
I just want to grab something Somber says real quick. Hooker signed with the Jets practice squad as well, quarterback. So he was here yesterday. We talked about Hendon Hooker being here working out with a few other guys. But this is he's with the Jets, as Somber is saying on the board. And also, guys, again, people talk about the Detroit not having that great of a defense. Jack Campbell, again, leading number 4 in the league in tackles. So got to keep stay away from him. He's in every damn play, basically. In other words, what that's saying.
He brings a different kind of energy to the game.
Dan Campbell has gone for it 178 times on fourth down since 2021.
And I think that might be the issue.
Mike Tomlin, in the same time frame, we went for it 89 times on fourth down.
Mm.
So it is as high as 178 is, which it is. Mike Tomlin doesn't seem like it's, I mean, every once in a while he does, and it irritates me when we shouldn't, and,
most of the time he gets it.
89 times, though, Derpy. 89 times since 2021, Tomlin decided to go for it on fourth down. So, again, don't expect not to get off the field. Don't expect to get off the field on third down if you stop Detroit and they got manageable yards. That's going to be another thing.
Right.
It's not 3 downs. You got to stop that offense for 4 downs a lot of time, and
I think we have the like I said, I think we have the secondary to stop them.
What is that pounding? What are you pounding something? Are you tapping? Okay. Can you stop? Thank you. What else? We got a couple more here, Derpy. Also, we waived defensive tackle Broderick Martin-Jones from the active roster to make room for Jeremiah Moon. So defensive tackle was removed. I'm sure he'll be back. Some of these guys, they kind of keep coming and going and bringing him back for the moves. Let's see what else. A couple more guys, and we are going to get ready to nail these picks as this is the time of the show. I know. That's what I'm saying. LeBron, he even got the fuck out of Cleveland. He was born, raised, and played and everything else. And he's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. A couple more. 2 more things, Derpy. These are a couple things about our offense, and then we are going to move on because we do got to get to these picks. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers says this comment was by Aaron Rodgers talking about our offense. Aaron Rodgers says this. The Steelers is starting to resemble how good teams practice late in the season. The Steelers are starting to resemble how good teams practice late in the season. In other words, he's seeing the good signs that you want to see at this point in the season, not being lazy, doing all the things that you need to do at practice to get prepared. So that's the way I took it. Aaron Rodgers says this team is starting to resemble.
That is a great quote, a great perspective. A football mindset IQ quote.
From a guy that knows football the way he does, come on, that's a great thing to hear, right?
Right. And we haven't had that kind of mindset since Ben left.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, Russell Wilson is a great quarterback, but he probably doesn't have the mindset of what Rodgers has, but you know what I mean.
2 other things.
Quote overall though, by him.
This one here, not so encouraging, but maybe a little bit. DK Metcalf and Arthur Smith recently had a conversation to get on the same page. It's not good because why are we having this conversation again in week 16? But it's good in the sense that, okay, if they are able to get on the same page, let's do this. But this was a comment made by DK. He says, Arthur Smith and I recently had a conversation to get on the same page.
Here's the thing, though. Even if they don't get on the same page, Aaron Rodgers will adjust the play and make it happen. So,
Right. I just, again, the state of the mind of the team is what I'm looking at here. Are we even ready here to do what we want, the fans want them to do? And again, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're seeing. Does this team even have potential to get past the first round? Again, this game says a lot. Not so much if they win. If they win, great. It's not necessary. It doesn't actually hurt us at all if we don't win this football game. But you want to play good football at this time of year. That's just a natural part of the game. Teams that stumble into the playoffs usually don't do well into the playoffs. And finally, two things here, just about the future of our team. Just a couple things. With the watered-down quarterback draft class, guys, let me ask you this on the board. The watered-down draft class of quarterbacks, with Manning going back to Texas, with the kid going back to USC, with Sellers going back to South Carolina, how much does this affect the Steelers come April when it's draft time?
That's the biggest question, right?
I don't know, Tater, but our hockey team wins Stanley Cups pretty often. So whatever your basketball team is doing, I'm sure our hockey team's doing better. But anyway, back to you, Derpy.
That's the interesting question. I mean,
How
it would be nice to run it back with Rodgers, but I don't think.
But ultimately,
I
how
think
long
he's
could
gonna
this
go to the
game
South.
go? How long could we
Right.
not have a quarterback?
Right.
We're going on again 9 years of not winning a playoff game. Ben
But
Derpy,
there's always the
how
option that
long can this go on? You're now entering the Browns territory with
right.
this quarterback situation.
I mean, maybe Will Howard. Maybe. I don't know.
And again, you know what? If we could wrap it up before we get into that last game of the season, maybe Will Howard could play a whole game against Baltimore, and we could get a good look of at Will Howard. But again, it's going to be interesting, guys. A lot of these big names, Steelers looking for their guy, and these names certainly have popped up over the past year. 2, 3 of these names. So what how's that going to play out? Again, these guys all going back to school. This was our big draft. We're hoping to get our guy at some point. Otherwise, again, we're moving in on a decade. A decade. Mark says we got a quarterback right now. He did say this is his last year, but again, guys, moving forward, just as we did. I keep getting thrown off by the tater tot comments here. I forgot where I was going with that, but I'm sure it was an all right point. What was the last thing that you said? Help me out here, Derpy, would you? Could you help me instead of hurting me for once?
I said Will Howard.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So we're gonna follow the same. We're gonna follow the same pattern that we did after Ben left. Not have any plan. That's what I'm saying. We're coming on a decade, guys. This has to get fixed. We have to get a franchise quarterback. And listen, let me ask you this, guys. I know I talked about it briefly the other day. Are you guys okay with going after Joe Burrow? I know he's going to cause money.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
The guy has mad talent. Maybe one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league.
Is he a free agent?
He wants the hell out of there.
Do we have to trade for him, or is he a free agent?
I don't know. I think he's a free agent, but if he's not, the point being, would you be okay with Joe Burrow, or is he too injury prone? Well, of course. I mean, his talent, but is his injuries a concern to you? You spend all that money, maybe he's not available for.
Well, here's the thing, Ryan. Cincinnati's O-line sucks, like really bad, and considering the Steelers how they've performed this year with their O-line, it's pretty decent. So
Joe Flacco seemed okay. We didn't sack him one time. We have the best sacker in the league, and we didn't get to Joe Flacco, the 45-year-old quarterback. How bad is the offensive line up there?
That's found. That's fair.
We have the former defensive player of the year, and none of our guys even got to their 45-year-old quarterback. So again, I don't know how much of that I buy, but again, this is going to come up. It's going to come up. I swear, with Steeler Freak, I've seen this too, which is hilarious. Nobody wants Tua.
I don't want Tua.
Nobody wants Tua. Any quarterback out of Alabama.
Let's get the midget Murray. No, I'm joking.
And finally, moving forward on the Steelers, my last one is Calvin Austin III. Did he do enough to earn an extension? That's coming up, guys. Calvin Austin, will he continue to be a Steeler moving forward?
He's that deep threat, but that we need. But I don't think he did enough. I don't.
I don't either, and I don't know if it's because he didn't get the opportunity. I don't know if he got the opportunity, didn't make the best. I don't know. Again, what about Calvin Austin, guys? Did he earn enough for his extension? Will he be around?
Heck, there might be better options out there too.
And finally, guys, this is what the practice injury report looked like. Watt out with his lung, Herbig out with his hammy, James Pierre out with his calf, and also Ciamala out with his tricep. Limited was Andrews Pete with his concussion. Skowronek with his illness in his hand was limited, and then also fully practicing with injuries was Derek Harmon. I look forward to seeing him this weekend. We need him if we're going to stop this Detroit run. It's going to be nice having Harmon, and then also fully practicing with his wrist, of course, is Aaron Rodgers, and that is the most up-to-date injury report.
I think the one that's going to hurt us the most is probably Herbig until TJ gets back.
What do you mean? I think he's going to hurt us what?
Missing him.
Oh, absolutely.
If he doesn't play.
As far as we know, you know what, Mark? The question is, the answer to that is they started them slow this week, and they're seeing how they play out the rest of the week, and that falls for Nick Herbig, that falls for Ciamalo, and also again, of course, monitoring what it is that TJ got going on as well. So we don't know, as Tyrone says right now, if they are out yet. It's going to be closer to a game time decision. Derpy, guys, let's get these picks in as it is pick Thursday, Derpy, and then I could fire you.
Hey now,
it's a good day for everybody.
No, fire Taterton. He's the one on the boards. Fire Taterton.
All right, maybe. I'm like I said, he's probably your trade piece, so don't give him too much shit, Derpy. Let's get on it here, guys. Of course, the games tonight start at 8:15. Thursday night football, 8:15 start. Derpy, the Rams at the Seahawks. This could very well be your NFC Championship game.
Yep.
Who do you like? Rams at Seattle.
This is tough, Ryan. But let me see real quick. Hold on. I gotta see who's playing. Sorry.
Derpy.
Derpy. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. I wasn't sure if Puka wasn't playing. But I think he's playing.
So you're taking the Rams over Seattle in Seattle.
Yep.
Okay. Next game, Derpy. This is a 5:00 on Saturday. That's right. We have a Saturday game this week.
That's
the
crazy.
Eagles at the Commanders. The Eagles at the Commanders, Derpy. You shouldn't have to do extensive.
The Eagles, because they shut down Jaden Daniels. Give me the Eagles.
All right. Packers at the Bears. This is going to be a good one.
This was also a good one a couple weeks ago.
And you know what? I just want to make one real quick comment to Tater. Myles Garrett literally wants the hell out of there.
He does.
You know what I mean? Like these people with these Cleveland Browns talking all this trash about Myles Garrett, like he actually even wants to be in that city. But yeah, pretty much the best sacker has been here in Pittsburgh and has been leading the way all the way until this point. So maybe once, as the Browns did in the playoffs, maybe one time that their guy can be better than our guy. And you know what? We will never hear the end of it, I'm sure. So let's move on, Derpy. The Packers at the Bears, Soldier Field, Sunday. This is Saturday, 8:20. So there's two games, 5:00 and 8:20 on Sunday. Packers at Bears, Derpy. Who do you like? Get a job, Tater Tot, is what Tortilla said.
With Parsons going down, I don't think the Packers will have the same energy to compete with the Bears. So give me the Bears, unfortunately.
All right, interesting. We're going to go to Sunday, 1:00. First 1:00 game on Sunday is the Chargers at the Cowboys. Derpy, the Chargers at the Cowboys.
Chargers.
All right. Tortilla got Seattle. Seattle winning the game tonight. Who'd you say the Rams, Derpy?
Yeah, I said the Rams.
All right, let's go look at the next game. It is the Chargers. You took Vikings at the New York Giants in New Jersey. This game, Derpy, 1:00 on Sunday. Minnesota, who might be drafting a quarterback, as I'm reading again. They get rid of Sam Darnold. They go with their draft pick from last year, who was out with injury, J.J. McCarthy. Things not going quite as well as they wanted them to. Talking about maybe getting back in, throwing their hat in on the draft this year at quarterback, Derby. Minnesota at the Giants. Who do you like?
Is Dart playing?
Who?
Dart.
I don't know. Derby, just pick a team, would you?
Give me the Giants. Just give me.
You got to do all that research beforehand. I don't know. I don't have these answers. So you're taking the Giants?
Yeah, because I just don't trust McCarthy.
All right. Next game, 1:00. Bengals at Dolphins. Think about that for a minute. Are you right? Think of that matchup. Who do you pick in this one? I think both teams have potential of doing good things. They just don't.
Give me.
It's in South Florida, so the cold's not going to be a factor. Bengals at Dolphins.
Give me the Bengals.
All right. Interesting. Another 1:00 game. This one's just as big. Just as difficult to pick, Derpy. Tampa Bay at Carolina. Carolina's been they look good this year. Much improved. Tampa Bay dropping some games lately that they shouldn't have in Carolina. Buccaneers at Panthers. Somber says Ewers. Ewers is starting down there also. So he's taking the Bengals in that game because Quinn Ewers is getting that start. So who do you like, Derpy? Buccaneers at Panthers.
Give me the Panthers.
All right. Jets at Saints. Kind of a difficult one again in its own right. Not because they're good teams, but they're pretty equal in their own right, Derpy.
Give me show in the Saints.
You're going Shuck in the Saints? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bills at Browns. Aaron Jade, my man, always great seeing on the terrible board. He says, "Here we go, Steelers, Derpy." When you're done flashing us, please. Oh God, what's going on over there with you?
I'm sorry, I was sitting back in the chair.
I'd seen camel tail going on.
Give me the Bills.
Hold on, I have to go rip my eyes out.
Okay, rip your eyes out and what's so.
All right, you're going with the Bills. Bills over the Browns.
Yep.
One day it's no shirt. The next day, all right, here we go. Chiefs at the Titans. 1 o'clock. Chiefs at the Titans. Chiefs at the Titans. Derpy. Chiefs go. Gardner Minshew. There you go. I got your answer. Chiefs quarterback is Gardner Minshew. At least he does got a shirt on, Tyrone says.
I'm taking it off.
Who are you taking? The Chiefs or the Titans? Your time in between picks is getting like the draft, Derpy. I'm gonna have the Chiefs. All right.
Yeah.
Derpy was about to drop a Cleveland Brown live. Tortilla says. Jaguars at the Broncos. 4:05. Jaguars up on the mile high, up on the mountains. Jaguars, Broncos both look pretty good this year.
Yeah. Give me the Broncos.
All right. Falcons at Cardinals.
Ooh.
You know what? I don't even pick their game anymore because I know no matter what I do, the Falcons will F me. So if I pick them to lose or to win, I lose no matter what. So I'm just going to stop picking the Falcons entirely. Derpy, Falcons at the Cardinals.
Give me. Oh, God. Give me the Cardinals at home.
Interesting. All right. Raiders at the Texans, Derpy. 4:25. Raiders at the Texans. Good defense. Houston got a really good D. Yeah, Texans. Raiders ain't doing much of anything good. And that stud running back they picked up in the first round of the draft, he's doing just exactly as I said that he was. We will compare his numbers to Najee Harris's rookie numbers in a couple weeks because I still do have those receipts, guys. Let's move to the next game. We're going to slide past the Steelers, go to the next one. Patriots at the Ravens, Derpy. I know who we want to win, but who do you think is going to win? Patriots at the Ravens. I thought it was in New England, but it is in Baltimore, actually.
It's in Baltimore. Ooh. Give me the Patriots.
I'd like to know what you're looking. What's going on over there? What's the thought process that's going on with you?
I'm just looking at injuries.
All right. So you're going Patriots. All right.
Yeah.
Finally, Monday Night Football. 49ers and the Colts. This should be a good one as well. Phillip Rivers. Is he going to go 0-2 to start his little comeback? It's kind of it's definitely possible. But again, 49ers, good football team. Again, they are also at the top of that division with Seattle in the Rams. Derpy, San Francisco at Indianapolis.
I think you got to go to San Francisco.
All right, guys, let's get back to the Steelers at the Lions. Steelers at Lions, 4:25 Derby for this game. I need a pick. I need a winner, and I also need a score for tiebreaker purposes. Derpy, Pittsburgh at Detroit. Who wins and what's the score?
30. I'm trying to 33-26.
33-26 Pittsburgh?
Yes.
All right. There you go. Derpy, you are locked in. I'm going to take and put your picks aside all the way up till next Tuesday once they wrap up. Excuse me. The play of week 16. So you are set. You're etched in stone. Again, if you haven't got your CBS pick'ems in, make sure you get over and get them in. I did see, I think Tyrone or Tortilla, one of them did say that they just got them in. Tyrone just did get his in.
I got mine in too.
I was looking at yesterday's injuries. Derpy is surfing Black Harmony, making his real picks. Yeah, that was the latest that I had. I don't have the up-to-date one for this afternoon, but as far as I know, that is what the up-to-date injuries are, and I haven't seen anything otherwise over on the internet as I was getting everything. So there's nothing that Sommer's going to do. Is a bit awesome, but there was nothing that indicates there was any significant changes in the injury report. As far as I know, they're bringing these guys in for depth because the outside linebackers are trying to get back at it. And also Harmon is got the green light from Coach T. He's going to be participating all week and will be playing on Sunday. And a few of the other injuries as well, as we did mention, are what we stated as far as we know. So if anything else comes up in the meantime, we'll certainly talk about that more tomorrow. I do want to say this, guys. If you get a chance, go check out our website over at www.d2dumyinzers.com. That's www.d2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool things over at the website. Vanilla does a lot of work over there. He puts his dumb thoughts up. He has the links to every show ever by the two Dum Yinzers. Also, all the contact information, all that kind of fun stuff. Go over, check out the website, www.d2dumyinzers.com, www.d2dumyinzers.com. It's time to get into the trivia question of the day, Derpy. This is how well do you know your enemy? How well do you know your opponents? Of course, this is a Detroit Lions question of the day. Let's see how much we know about our opponents that we'll be facing off on Sunday at 4:25 in Michigan. Here we go, Derpy. Put on your thinking caps. Everybody on the board. Here we go. What's the furthest the Detroit Lions ever advanced into the playoffs? Now we know this team is one of the few that has never been to a Super Bowl. So with that hint, again, the question is this: What's the furthest the Detroit Lions ever advanced in the playoffs? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. every day, Eastern Standard Time, right here on the tube. Tyrone says might be good, Ryan. We play at 4:30. It'll rest more guys. Tortilla saying the division. That's the furthest they made it. Tortilla says the divisional round, Derpy. Again, the question of the day: what's the furthest the Detroit Lions ever advanced into the playoffs?
My answer?
No, I want your foot size.
Okay.
Yes, please. What's your answer, Derpy?
NFC Championship.
NFC Championship. Any idea what year that would have been, or is that just a wild guess?
Just a wild guess.
Okay, interesting. So that NFC Championship divisional round. Steeler Freak says Bob Marley. Guys, question of the day is this: what is the furthest that the Detroit Lions ever advanced in the playoffs? Derpy says the NFC Championship game, divisional round. I'll give another minute, guys. Throw your guesses up there. Maybe you might know. If you know it, throw it up there as well. John says NFC's Championship. Question of the day: what's the furthest the Detroit Lions ever advanced in the playoffs, guys? They haven't been to a Super Bowl. They haven't won a Super Bowl. We know that. A couple different answers. Here we go, guys. The answer to the question: what is the furthest the Detroit Lions ever advanced in the playoffs? The answer is in 1991. They played the Washington Redskins in the NFC Championship game. The Washington Redskins wins that game and goes on to beat Buffalo in year 2 of their 4 in a row. 1991, the Detroit Lions did go to the NFC Championship game. So, Derpy, you did nail that. Good job, my man. A few other things before we do start to wrap things up for the day, guys. The Pitt Gals, they have a great volleyball squad. They're in the Final Four once again, and it starts tonight. The Pitt Panthers take on the Texas A&M Gals. Number 6 Texas A&M and Pitt tonight, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN to see if they advance to the finals.
Funny story, Ryan. Number 20 is from my area.
Who's that?
Abby. She's on the bench, but she's from our area though.
Okay.
I think she's like a sophomore, freshman.
But that might have been Rodney Pete, Mark. It was definitely the time. But yes, so that do check out the gals tonight, 6:30. They win tonight. They move on to the championship round. The Pittsburgh Penguins, after they're on a little losing streak, they go back at it tonight. They're in Ottawa taking on the Senators. That's a 7:00 start. The team is 14-9-9, kind of desperate to get back in the win column. So the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight at 7. The Pitt Ladies tonight at 6:30 on ESPN. A couple of things I do want to say also before we do take off for the day, Derpy. This is an interesting one. It's funny in a way. Remember, okay, guys, the Lakers. Okay, Tinker Toy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
you focus on the NBA. Listen, and a lot, some of the guys do here on the board as well. Now, Adu Thero, he got drafted. He was the first pick, the Lakers' first pick in this past year's draft. Adu Thero, he's a forward. Now he grew up just down the river. He at a high school called Quaker Valley, and he, my oldest son played AAU basketball with him for quite some time. Now here's the funny thing. Last night I was reading Adu Thero from right down here in the river,
Yeah.
He got his SUV stolen by Puka Nakua's brother.
What? Get out!
Right? And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, what the fuck? So let me just pull it up real quick. I'll do this real quick before we do get ready to wrap it up. Samson Nakua, brother of Rams wide receiver Puka Nakua, was among 2 men arrested after allegedly taking Lakers forward Adu Thero's SUV without consent, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department.
Why would you steal? I mean, your brother's making that much money, and you do something like that.
I mean, the guys.
And I'm pretty sure he's got comfortable.
He was around one. He was around one pick to the Lakers. I'm sure he makes decent money. But the thing is, what's the real story? That's my question.
Right.
Because if these guys are and they know each other, I mean, if we were together and hanging out, and you took my car down to the store, I wouldn't call the cops on you. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just a mix-up. It seems like that would be the case because, again, what's the chance that Puka Nakua's brother comes out of nowhere and steals Adu Thero's vehicle? It's just it's weird, but again, interesting nonetheless because of the people involved. And I did want to talk about that briefly. So again, Samson Nakua arrested for taking Thero's SUV without consent. So. But interesting, guys, and I do want to say that for the NBA guys, he's from right down here, man, and again was very good. His dad in the AAU that they used to, my son used to play with, in it. His son Adu, he would play with high school kids when he was in 6th grade. Sixth grade, his dad had him out there running the floor in AAU with the high school players. So again, no wonder that he's as good as he is. The size certainly helps. His dad, Coach Al, was 6'10". And I was reading Adu is 6'9".
We did.
And also his mom is like 6'7". So big people in that family. So hopefully they get that figured out with the car.
We did.
Before we do wrap things up, I do want to say this. Go check out our social media, Derpy. We are all over the internet. Swing by Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with the 2 Dum Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. And as well, hit that like button down below if you haven't yet. Subscribe if you haven't, share, or even comment. It all helps us out. We appreciate it. And again, it goes toward making that algorithm move in our favor. So again, thank you so much on that. And finally, I do want to say this, Derpy, as we are getting close to the end of the week. Yes, we all might be abducted by aliens tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen with this 3i Atlas, but I do want to say, if you're not abducted and you're getting ready for the big game on Sunday afternoon, do make sure you stop by and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. I know people like to sit back, drink a few, enjoy the game, get loud, wave their towel, scream. So don't do that without your Duquesne Pilsner, guys. The people at Duquesne Pilsner have been super awesome with us, and they include us in a lot of their promotions. So I like to help them out. So swing by, check out their social media, hit the like, follow, anything like that could help. But again, the big one, Sunday before the game, stop by, get yourself a case of Duquesne Pilsner brewed right here in Pittsburgh.
Duke.
And like it says on the can, grab a Duke. Keep those chinks out of your armor, gentlemen, is what Mark Malone is saying. Let's see. Let me get through a couple of these. We appreciate that, Miss Pittsburgh. We appreciate that. Thank you. She says, great show as always. His car has, he was on crack. Ryan thought it was his car. AB doesn't pay his bills too.
So
we just kind of go through and grab a bunch of randoms here as we did miss. You guys are awesome, and please don't stop. I would rather get behind. I like to try to get them all, and I do read them all eventually. But being behind,
Ryan.
But being behind is not a bad thing, guys. It means we're doing something right. So, guys, let me just grab a couple random messages before we do take off. Phil the Steel says at one point, Lindsay, like it or not, I want to come down to the Ratbirds to see if our Steelers are for real. Let me jump in over here. Somber says, unfortunately, no. I love Calvin. Of course, Calvin Austin. We're talking Calvin Austin III. We're talking about with getting that extension. I said, do we believe he should be extended or he will be extended? Steeler Freak says, Ryan, I believe Burrow will go to a Super Bowl ready team. He could backfill Stafford, for an example. Not a bad thought on that one, John. Let me go over here. John also says this. It's a good comment. Let me jump in here. I swear Steelers Talk podcast had a Tua to Steelers topic yesterday. I knew the shit would start. Every available jag-off would be thrown around.
Yeah,
and you know what? That's why I didn't really touch on it today, because it's kind of bullshit and it will never happen. It better not happen. The guy we just seen on Monday better not be playing in the Steeler uniform anytime soon. That's all I got to say. Let me grab a couple more here. Mark Malone, Howard Rudolph, and 2 rookies fight it out next year. Tyrone says, I'm happy with TJ Watt. Okay, hope he plays. Need him next week. Need him this week. Yes, absolutely. Steeler Freak says cast-off was the word that he heard in the lockout. Yes, the cast-offs. And it was okay when he was calling everybody else cast-offs. But did you notice whenever they called Aaron Rodgers a cast-off, he kind of took offense in a way. It was interesting. Let's see. Bingo, right direction for sure. But this quote also means they're not a good team yet. And let me grab one more. Tortilla Jackson, he says the Epstein files are in Cleveland. Just like the Cleveland Browns championships, they'll never be found if they are in Cleveland. So, guys, awesome show today. Again, thank you so much to everybody. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. Even you, Tater Tot. I'm sorry, Tater Tot. You could be fun sometimes too. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. We surely do appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. You guys are amazing and awesome and all those good words. Also on the terrible board, you guys are, Yinzer, you come here and you get it done every day. Yinzer, the reason the show stays as interesting as it does, and I do want to say thank you for that, guys. On the terrible board, you are the best, and everybody at home as well. Maybe you're in the gym, maybe you're in the car, maybe you're at work, or wherever you may be, just listening on your pods, your earphones, your buds, maybe just watching on your TV. If that be the case, thank you too, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, truly, honestly do. Gang, my man, everybody, thank you so much. I do see Somber saying TJ is in the facility today. TJ is in the facility today. So whatever that means, we don't know yet. Again, with that lung, I want a good game tonight. Steeler Freak says that's right. We do have Thursday night football, guys. So do not forget, make sure you get on and get at least tonight's pick in. Then you got a little bit of time till Saturday. Games are Saturday. So keep that in mind on the CBS Pick'ems, guys. Derp, you got yours in, if I'm not mistaken. A couple people on the board today said they got theirs in as well. So do make sure you don't forget that. I don't want you to fall behind just because of not getting that pick in. So guys, do make sure you do that tonight. The Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. That game is at 8:15 for Thursday night football. Other than that, guys, we'll be back tomorrow for the Friday installment of the show to get ready for the Detroit Lions. We'll figure out what it is we got to do. We'll look at overs and unders and the keys to winning this game this weekend against Detroit, guys. So again, enjoy Thursday night football tonight. We got football Saturday. We got football Sunday. We got football Monday. Guys, this is the time of the year. It gets good. This is the stretch. The Steelers, again, we're going to get a good feel about this team, how we're looking and where we're going. I think by our play this week, not by the result, but by the play ultimately, I think is where we learn about our Steelers moving forward. Guys, Derpy, anything before we do wrap it up?
3 words. Here we go.
All right. Derpy salvaged his job one more time. I'm going to give him credit on that. Air high five to Derpy. So I do want to say again, thank you so much for everybody for coming and hanging out. We will be back tomorrow to do it all over again. And we hope to see everybody then. Thank you so much, everybody. Even you, Tater Tot. Thank you too, guys. Thank you, Derpy. Thank you, my man, for coming by. Thank you. Good luck on your picks. Good luck to everybody's picks this
Always
week.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
On CBS and as well, and Derpy, my man. So again, guys, thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get into it, to wrap up this week and to head into week 16 for the Steelers, guys. So for Derpy, for Mike, for Finch, myself, the 2 Dum Yinzers, I hope everybody has a great Thursday. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.